It's Friday, June the 5th. Today, game over for a proposed AI data center. Manitoba denied a project that would have been the size of 260 football fields, while Wabkanu is pulling the plug on a project near Ile-des-Chênes. Also, cracking down on fare evasion. New data shows the latest challenges for Winnipeg Transit and how the community safety team has switched its approach when it comes to fares. Plus, $46 million richer, how Manitoba's biggest ever lotto winner plans to spend his money. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Thank you so much for being with us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. Now, Pride is happening. It's Pride Month, but Pride, the parade, is happening on Sunday. And Ainsley's going to tell us about all kinds of activities that are happening throughout the month, but also what's happening on Sunday. Now, we will be live streaming a show on our website. The parade starts at 11 o'clock, so you could check out our website for that live stream on our website. And the weather, it's going to be a scorcher.
It's going to be hot. It often is, yes. Right? Hot, and then with that potential for storms in the afternoon. Although it's kind of looking now like those storms might kind of move on into next week instead, which, I mean, listen, it's going to be a party nonetheless. This morning is one of the coldest mornings, actually, that we've dealt with. 10 degrees outside. Now that is seasonal. 10 degrees is a normal low temperature. There's plenty of sunshine out there right now. Pressure is rising, humidity sitting at 100%, and just a little bit of a breeze. It's out of the west at about 13 kilometers per hour. Fairly clear conditions. We might see a few clouds here or there throughout the day today. There will be some sunshine. There will be some clouds. We'll get a little bit of a mix of both. Not much in the way of precipitation. You can see a little bit just dragging right along this most southern border. A little bit more showing up in areas just off to the east of us, but most of the province on the clearer side. And like I said, it's just going to be a few clouds here or there. So pockets of sunshine, certainly, especially later on into the day. Those extra clouds from the morning might be clearing out nicely. Temperatures, they'll be quite pleasant. Yesterday, I was saying yesterday morning, I'm like, oh, it's going to be on the cooler side. Well, I tell you, in the sunshine, it was beautiful yesterday. And when that sun shines over us, we'll be feeling the warmth of it, especially this weekend. The weekend, we're going to be feeling the heat of it all. Now, there could also be some of these storms moving in by later into the day on Saturday. This is 8 p.m. and you can see a lot of activity through the southwestern part of the province. We're likely to not see that activity as it'll move more into east central Manitoba. So Saturday is going to be hot, Sunday as well, and then that potential for storms has kind of pushed into next week, but it does look like the above seasonal temperatures will be sticking around.
Thank you, Terry. It could be game over for a large AI data center project near Ile-des-Chênes. Premier Wabkanu is saying no to the plan, which would have seen the center rise on more than 141 hectares of land. That's 350 acres southeast of Winnipeg. But as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, the Premier says the risks outweigh the benefits.
Premier Wabkanu is rejecting a plan to build an AI data center southeast of Winnipeg.
The idea of a hyperscale data center? No.
Jet AI and Consensus Corp secured purchase agreements for 350 acres north of Ile-des-Chênes. Data centers are typically large facilities which house vast networks of servers needed for computing and networking infrastructure. Now, the Premier says the environmental risks outweigh the economic benefits for this project, and he points to the power this type of data center requires.
If we could do 100 Selkirk steel mills or a data center, which one is going to create more long-term benefits? Which one is going to create more happiness? Which one's going to create more jobs and careers?
There is happiness for people who live near the site following Canu's decision.
We're extremely happy to hear everything that he had to say this morning. It was really unexpected.
Christy Little started a petition against the plan. She has concerns about the loss of farmland and potential air, water, and noise pollution.
I didn't want to live beside it. Nobody wanted. Our whole community didn't want to live beside it.
Consensus Core Technologies CEO Wayne Lloyd tells CTV News in a statement they look forward to reviewing the Premier's comments and a robust engagement process. Lloyd says this proposal is different than other compute projects as it will create a significant number of well-paying union jobs, will generate and store its own energy, and add millions of dollars of tax revenue. Consensus Core remains committed to ensuring this generational investment benefits all Manitobans in the current economy and for decades to come. The Manitoba Chambers of Commerce was surprised by the decision. It says the province needs to set clear parameters around what is an acceptable size for a data centre.
We know that this is not going away, that there's going to be other projects that are going to be looking at Manitoba as a potential, and I think what we don't want to be doing is driving away investment.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Premier says there is room for data centres in Manitoba, pointing out we already have them, and he predicts there will be more. A former leadership candidate for Manitoba's Progressive Conservatives will not be allowed to run again for the party. The PC's announced Wally Doddridge will not be able to seek nomination under the party's banner in the riding of Turtle Mountain. Doddridge previously announced his intentions to seek the nomination, and according to social media posts, he's already been out campaigning in the area. No reason was provided for why Doddridge won't be able to seek nomination. Doyle Pinnock is the current PC MLA for the area. He's not seeking re-election. Doddridge went head-to-head with Tory leader Abi Khan in last year's leadership race, narrowly losing the contest. Manitoba's next provincial election is scheduled for 2027. CTV News has reached out to Doddridge for comment. After nearly 2 decades helping animals, Prairie Wildlife Rehab has decided this summer will be its last. The centre says it helps rehabilitate more than 2,000 animals every year. The decision to wind down operations comes as the volunteer-based charity faces challenges related to funding, staffing, and the increased costs of operations. As of now, it is no longer admitting new wildlife patients. Instead, officials plan to focus on caring and healing the animals currently in the centre's care. The chiefs of Treaty 8 First Nations in Alberta are calling on the province's premier to scrap the fall referendum on independence.
This premier is totally lost. Gone. Got no credibility left.
The courts have determined time and time again our rights. Yet we have a premier that seems to think that our rights don't matter.
It's not only an attack on our treaty, it's an attack on every treaty in this country.
In an open letter to Danielle Smith, the chiefs say Alberta cannot proceed with the question on the separation in the fall referendum without consulting Indigenous groups. The Premier's office says the format of the question, asking Albertans if they want to stay or hold a later binding referendum, doesn't trigger a duty to consult. Police in Alberta are looking in why a driver sped through an intersection and slammed his van into a daycare.
There's a kitchen back there, and there was a lady in there preparing food. She's been injured. Something fell on her head, and she got burns on her arm.
The van hit Young Champions Daycare in Stony Plain, west of Edmonton. All 18 children with the daycare are safe and not hurt, but one worker was trapped, and the driver of the van was also injured. Both have non-life-threatening injuries. The building had to be evacuated because of a gas leak, which has been fixed. Police say they're now investigating all possible causes of this crash. Winnipeg's trees are finally leafy again, but we aren't the only ones enjoying the green canopy. Tree pest caterpillars are emerging, and starting next week, the city will be spraying for the pests. Crews will start spraying Monday night in the following areas: Monroe West, Rossmere, Jefferson, Kildonan Park, and Seven Oaks. They'll focus on boulevards, city parks, and cemeteries for the next 4 weeks. Spraying will happen on weekdays, weather permitting. The track at St. James Collegiate is getting a major makeover. A joint agreement in principle has been reached to fund an $800,000 upgrade to the school's 400-meter outdoor running track. The asphalt base of the track is being rebuilt, and a layer of rubber is being applied to the new surface.
This upgrade will create a faster, safer, and more durable running surface, one that supports physical education programming, enhances athletic training, and promotes physical literacy for all our students.
There will be a bit of delay before work on the project can get started. The city is currently conducting sewage pipe tunneling work underneath the track, so construction likely won't begin until next summer. A zoo in Java, Indonesia has done the improbable and managed to breed 4 Sumatran tiger cubs, one of the most endangered species in the world. The zoo unveiled the 4 young cats this week. The litter of 3 males and 1 female was born in March. Sumatran tigers are difficult to breed in captivity due to their highly selective reproductive behavior. The zoo, Taman Safari Indonesia, now houses 24 Sumatran tigers, all for conservation purposes. Here's a look at what's happening outside now on the drive on Portage Avenue. Look at that. It's a beautiful start to your Friday. Barely a car on the street, and things are moving well in this part of the city. If you see anything out there, though, please let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley, who's hanging out at the Forks this morning, getting ready for Pride, which, of course, is Pride Month. June is Pride Month, but it's Pride on Sunday. The Pride Parade is officially kicking off at 11 a.m. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Yeah, the festivities are happening all throughout the weekend, kicking off on Saturday at noon right here at the CN stage. Everything from live entertainment, food, and local vendors. And then, like Rochelle mentioned, the parade. You can see CTV and Bell Media present there, as well as thousands of others. This is one of the biggest events that the city will see all year long, and honestly, one of the biggest prides in Canada. We're going to be chatting with the festival organizers. We're going to be having a conversation with Trans Manitoba, and we're going to be learning about their accessibility initiatives because they want everybody, all, to be included in the Pride festivities and the fun of the month.
Okay, sounds great. We're, of course, going to be there on Sunday. And Terry, you're out on the rooftop. It's beautiful. It's sunny. Ooh. A little breezy, though.
Just a slight bit of a breeze. Yeah. I think I just actually turned my head too quick, and so it looked like my hair had stuck to my lipstick. Anyway, out here, yes, standing in the sunshine. It is gorgeous. Beautiful start to the day, and it's already starting to warm up, which is more than I can say for our studio indoors. So this is where I'll have the bigger smile on my face over the course of the morning, is out here soaking up these rays. 11 right now with an 11K wind. It's out of the northwest. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 100% this morning. Blue sky above. I can see a few clouds out here, but overall, nothing blocking that sunshine this morning. It is absolutely blinding, so grab those sunglasses. And yeah, I put a jacket on this morning because it is one of our cooler days, but 10 degrees where we begin is in fact normal for this time of year. A few places might see a few clouds, but also some sunshine. So a nice mix of the two. Not likely to see much in the way of precipitation anywhere through the province. Tomorrow could be a bit of a different story. Tomorrow we're going to be feeling the heat in a very big way, whereas today seasonal temperatures are on tap. That'll put us up around 23 degrees, but tomorrow in that 30-degree range. And I mentioned the potential for some storms tomorrow. Southwestern Manitoba, I'm talking about you later into the afternoon or through the evening. Thunderstorms could develop. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Good morning. An arrest has been made in a series of sexual assaults which mainly targeted underage girls. And police say they all took place on a single day in St. Boniface. Investigators allege the spree started when a man confronted two teenage girls walking near Horace Street and Desmarons Street on May 25th. Police say the 67-year-old man approached them, started to grab them, and sexually assaulted them in the process. The girls escaped, but the man followed until they sought help at a nearby school. Not long after, police say the same suspect went to a school where kids were out for recess and commented on the appearance of a group of young girls. They ran away and told school staff about what had happened. Minutes later, police say the man then approached a woman in her 20s who was mowing her lawn in the Archwood neighborhood. They say the man grabbed the lawnmower and sexually assaulted the woman. She was able to escape and called police. The 67-year-old suspect was arrested shortly after 1 p.m. in the 400 block of Edgewood Street. He's charged with 3 counts of sexual assault and was released with conditions. The charges have not been tested in court. Winnipeg police continue to investigate and ask anyone with information to call the Sex Crimes Unit. Winnipeg Transit riders are weighing in with their safety concerns. It comes as a new city report shows just how many people are riding without paying. CTV's Joseph Bernacki reports.
Winnipeg's Brent LaRose says he still doesn't feel safe taking the bus around the city. He is still recovering from an attack while he was on board a city bus in February.
I sit on the bus differently. I don't sit with my back to the passengers. I sit towards the front.
LaRose says he still has to take the bus multiple times a week. A new report from the City of Winnipeg aims to improve safety on transit buses with a shift towards focusing on fare evasion. City data shows that between January 1st and April 20th, the community safety team intervened a total of 20,326 times. This includes 8,816 people denied a ride, 6,313 walkaways, 4,029 warnings, and 1,168 instances where passengers chose to pay.
I think the numbers are pretty impressive for a small team that we have, and we've really been putting a focused effort on education and awareness.
Robert Christmas, lead for the team, says the city has put 30 community safety officers on buses since 2024. He says there has been a shift since July of last year, strengthening their team's presence on buses to help crack down on fare evasion. Still, LaRose says more work needs to be done to help the bus drivers working in stressful conditions.
Can't expect the drivers to enforce this. It's too dangerous. I've seen drivers try, and they get berated. And I have seen guys get on the bus smoking cigarettes with throwing a beer can on the ground, get on the bus and say, I have no money to pay. It doesn't make sense to me.
LaRose says he has yet to see an officer on board a bus he's taken, and other riders feel the same. Vlad Virmenko takes the bus several times a day. 7 months ago, he was in shock when he got on board a city bus.
One day on the bus, I was threatened with a knife, that if I'm not going to give the money to the guy, he's just going to stab me. So I was supposed to give him my wallet because I was like, oh, I don't want to get stabbed. I prefer to give him my $50 and I'm just going to make them back on the next day.
Christmas says his small team is working hard, trying to patrol more than 600 buses in the city.
We are in a crisis of meth and unsheltered people living in impoverished conditions. So we're trying to approach problems, getting at the root causes.
Joseph Bernacki, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Public Works Chair Janice Luke says it's not clear how much the city has lost to fare evasion. She says more provincial investment could bolster the number of community safety officers. The winner of the largest Lotto 649 jackpot in our province's history came forward Thursday to collect his big check. Earl Giesbrecht is $46 million richer. He bought the winning ticket for the May 16th Lotto 649 gold ball draw from First Stop Grocers in Whitemouth. And when the 70-year-old found out about his big win, he tells us he felt like he might have the big one.
My thoughts went to my children on their way and my grandchildren, that I would help them in life. That's more important, my children, than anything else.
Giesbrecht plans to use his winnings to help out his children, pay off his ex-wife's mortgage, and maybe consider retiring. He's only semi-retired right now. His advice to wannabe winners is simple: buy a ticket. And in case you're curious, the second largest 649 jackpot won in Manitoba was $27.5 million and happened almost exactly 5 years ago. A man in England has donated an almost divine discovery to a local charity. Kevin Minto, a truck driver, former soldier, and amateur metal detectorist, is donating an ancient ring he found in a field in 2018. The gold ring weighs about 48 grams, depicts the Roman goddess Victory on a chariot, and dates back to ancient times. It will soon be on display at the Museum of Somerset. That is so neat. Some road closures to remind you about this morning on St. Mary's Road. The southbound curb lane will be closed from Highfield Street to Niverville Avenue. The southbound median lane on King Edward Street will be closed between Dublin and Wellington Avenue. And Hargrave Street will be closed from Bannatyne to William Avenue. If you see any issues out on the streets, please send us a text.
Beautiful start to the morning, as you can see, looking through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. A few clouds out there, but plenty of breaks in them, plenty of blue sky above, and the sun is just wanting to shine for us this morning. It is gorgeous. It's already starting to warm up. 10 degrees was a seasonal low. That was our lowest temperature. So we're looking at very normal temperatures for this time of year, but it'll be quite pleasant and just a little bit of a breeze as well. So we were at 10. We're now at 11, on the rise already. A few places even warmer than that. 13 at the moment in the Morden Winkler area. We've got 12 for Brandon, Dauphin, over in Gimli as well. 11 through that more central stretch, still in the double digits up in the and through parts of northern Manitoba. Thompson also in double digits. If you're not there, you're in the high single digits. A pleasant day no matter where you are, with some sunshine, maybe a few clouds here or there. Not much expected in the way of precipitation. Very few places will see it. You see right along that very southern border a little bit of activity, but overall most of Manitoba is in the clear today, or at least in the mix of sun and cloud for today. There will be a few clouds, but it'll be pleasant overall. 19 degrees expected as kids get into the classroom, 20 degrees through the midday, and by the time they're coming home again, a seasonal 23 degrees. Nothing wrong with this. We'll spend the day with the sunshine, like I said, and just a light breeze, and then brace yourself because it is going to get hot. The weekend, 30 degrees, both Saturday and Sunday. Plenty of sunshine. A little bit more of a wind will be picking up for Saturday. We'll be glad for that at 30 degrees, keeping that air moving around a little bit. And then on Sunday, still a whole lot of heat expected. Now, Saturday is the day that I was saying that southwestern Manitoba could begin to see some storms. Here in the southeast, it might take until next week before we're getting that next round of precipitation. And we'll certainly be needing it by then. After a hot weekend, we're still expected above seasonal temperatures through next week. This is Rooster, Rooster the dog. Out in St. Norbert, going for a walk. What a beautiful day for it yesterday. Thanks to Henry for sharing this photo, and keep them coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We'll be back right after this break.
Welcome back. After a run of 5 straight Grey Cup appearances, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers took a step back in 2025. But Zach Collaros and company are ready to bounce back this season. Some big free agents join a veteran core who say there is plenty left in the tank. CTV's Daniel Homerson has more on tonight's season opener in Calgary.
All good things must come to an end, but the blue and gold aren't waving the white flag this season.
We're still in that push to be the #1 team in this league, right?
Last year, for the first time since 2018, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers didn't appear in the Grey Cup. Still, Jefferson says the Bombers are ready to run it back in 2026.
How do we approach this season? Just go at it. One game at a time. That's our team mantra, 1 week at a time. And then just let the chips fall as they may, right?
The towering defensive end is part of a veteran core returning for another kick at the can. And the Bombers brass made some big splashes in free agency, too.
What stands out is how quickly they fit in.
Joining Jefferson on an already dominant defense are tackle Jake Serezna and corner Jonathan Moxey. Both come with loads of CFL experience.
They get to bring that here and then mesh that with everything that we have going here, the culture that we have here.
Meantime, the offensive line is getting a big boost. 2025 All-CFL tackle Jarrell Broxton is expected to give quarterback Zach Collaros plenty of time in the pocket.
He's one of the best in the league, if not the best. And, my job is to protect him, and I take that job real serious. Yes, sir.
Collaros and running back Brady Oliveira will keep stirring the drink on offense, and a revamped receiving core should keep defenses on their heels, with the additions of 3-time CFL All-Star Tim White and Canadian Tommy Neal.
There's a lot of veteran guys here that, I've watched in my time being in the league, and just excited to work with them.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers kick off their quest for the Grey Cup Friday night in Calgary.
I like our guys. I like the way we went through camp. I like how hard they worked.
Daniel Homerson, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Kickoff in Calgary is slated for 8 p.m. Central this evening. You can catch all the action on TSN. For all those who play team sports, check out this contest. We're giving away 25 $100 Chicken Chef gift cards with draws every week from May 25th to July the 17th. Just tell us about your most memorable fun team moment, attach a picture, and you will be entered into the draw. Plus, your picture and story could be featured on our show. Now, Sarah is the assistant coach for the Under-7 Flyers in Fisher Branch, and she shared these little nuggets like seals on the ground after they scored a goal. They're such a polite and supportive team. Your picture and story could also be featured on our show. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form with your answer and your picture. Good luck.
Your Manitoba sports team moment brought to you by Chicken Chef, where memories are made.
We're going to take a quick break now. We'll be back right after this.
Beautiful start to your Friday morning. It's 11 degrees outside with an 11K wind. It's out of the northwest at the moment with the pressure rising and the humidity sitting right up there at 100%. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a humid start to your day for sure, but a pleasant one overall. We'll see a fair bit of sunshine, just a few clouds, but even those few clouds will be clearing as the day goes on. And then very nice clear conditions as we're rolling on into the weekend. You can see the green showing up on the satellite image, but it's right along that very most southern stretch. We're not likely to see much of that throughout the province today, so just enjoy some sunshine and some seasonal temps to go with it. It won't be a scorcher of a day, but very pleasant. 23 degrees is where we're headed. That is bang on seasonal, with just a bit of a breeze increasing out of the northwest to about 15 kilometers per hour. Pretty perfect of a day for a lot of people that don't like the extremes, but just know that those extremes are coming back again. It is a good day, Director Kim. This is right in her happy zone. She's very much a Goldilocks player. She doesn't like it too hot, doesn't like it too cold, so today will be perfect. And dropping down to 13 degrees overnight, just a few clouds. Tomorrow, she'll be complaining, but I don't have to listen to her. It's the weekend. 30 degrees. It's going to be a bit of a hot one, but that breeze at least will keep that air moving around. South winds gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. I will not be complaining. This is my happy zone. 30 degrees. That's where we'll spend the weekend. 32 perhaps, in fact, on Sunday. And then things could get a little bit stormy, a little more turbulent into the start of next week. But these temperatures remaining seasonal or above, and a few days of some off and on precipitation is expected.
Thank you, Terry. Premier Wab Kinew says the province's mobile supervised consumption site is on track to open.
It's going to open this month.
While Kinew confirmed the timeline for the mobile site, he also says a permanent supervised consumption site won't be ready for several more months. In May, Addictions Minister Bernadette Smith said the director and some staff had already been hired for the mobile site, with interviewing underway for peer mentors and clinical staff. Aboriginal Health and Wellness will run the facility, which will allow people to inject drugs in the trailer with staff on hand to respond to overdoses. The construction and infrastructure company Aecon says it has signed an agreement with Arctic Gateway Group to support infrastructure in northern Manitoba. The memorandum of understanding says they will work together on the development of the Port of Churchill and Hudson Bay Railway. The port and railway are operated by Arctic Gateway, which is Indigenous and community owned. Upgrading the Port of Churchill was among several projects shortlisted last year by the federal government as transformative projects. Less than a month away from a July 1st deadline to review the free trade agreement with the U.S. and Mexico, this week saw plenty of action on that trade front, with this country's minister meeting the U.S. trade representative Tuesday and new Trump tariffs announced Wednesday. But while Ottawa is taking the lead in these fraught negotiations, provinces also have a stake. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
When half a dozen Manitobans met with U.S. officials to talk trade this week, it was a first in history.
Manitoba produces about 8.5 million pigs every year. 3 million of those are exported live into the United States. Those exports are at risk if we don't have the protection of the trade agreement.
They signal that even though the president signed the agreement 6 years ago, he's not attached to it. So there are some irritants that need to be worked out.
Manitoba is the newest province with an office at the Canadian Embassy. Ontario and Alberta have had theirs for 1 and 2+ decades. But in this trade war, the 4 provinces in D.C. meet bi-weekly around this table. Ontario's representative says it's been effective.
We hope that helps our federal government on things like doing trade agreements, because so many of the things that are in the American interest really rely with the domain of the provinces.
One of the things I do is like to show them oil sands.
The reps spend a lot of time scene setting to Americans. Alberta's brings this sample to meetings. Nathan Cooper says the issue of Alberta separatism hasn't played a significant role in talks.
On occasion, I'll hear from members of Congress, more so out of an interest of like what's actually happening there. But it very quickly moves on to the key issues that we all face together, which is largely energy and agriculture.
President Trump's back on his high horse, saying we're going to be a 51st state. I can tell President Trump that will never, ever happen.
Asked if some of Doug Ford's comments make his job harder on Capitol Hill, David Patterson says he's met with 150 Republican lawmakers and has not had a bad meeting yet. He's optimistic about a CUSMA deal, but not by July 1st.
If the United States is willing to do it, I hope they are, because I think it's in their self-interest. And so let's get it done by Labor Day.
Ontario's premier visits Washington next week. Alberta is focused on hosting U.S. lawmakers at the Calgary Stampede and beyond. Quebec didn't get back to us. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Washington.
Artificial intelligence is only getting smarter, and the question now is, can we keep up?
A reality and a humility. This is a huge issue. No one country can control everything, and it's not, we're not building off a walled garden here. Look, it's a very fast-moving world. There's lots of challenges and lots of opportunities.
That was Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon after the federal government unveiled its new AI strategy. The plan is to boost AI use in businesses from 12% to 60% by the year 2034. Additional goals include building a world-leading supercomputer in order to increase Canada's sovereign infrastructure in 5 years and giving all Canadians access to free AI literacy training. It also plans to tackle surveillance, pricing concerns, and chatbot safety. Ottawa is promising new regulations to protect data, privacy, and children. So far, there are no timelines for those safeguards. Many critics say the strategy falls short on safety and privacy concerns. Bakers in Madrid are showing off a new dessert to mark an upcoming visit from Pope Leo. It's called Cor un, which is Latin for one heart. It's a butter cookie filled with lemon cream and strawberry jam, coated in white chocolate and decorated with yellow lines and the Vatican coat of arms. Boxes of cookies will also be on sale throughout the city. The Pope begins a visit to Spain tomorrow until June the 12th. Here's a look now at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are moving quite well to start off this morning. If you see any issues out on the streets, let us know, please. And here's a look now at your gas prices in Winnipeg. The average is $1.58. It's lower than it was yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Coming up, Ainsley is live at the Forks this morning. This is where many of the activities for Pride are planned this weekend. Stay with us for more.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Beautiful start to the morning. The sun is shining. Yesterday ended up being quite a pleasant day, especially through the afternoon as those temperatures started to rise. It wasn't a scorcher of a day, but with the sunshine and seasonal temperatures, it ended up being so very pleasant. And that's pretty much what we can expect again today. In fact, my rooftop pool, which was looking so full and overflowing the other day, has pretty much dried up. So that's the power of the sun this time of year. 11 degrees is where we're sitting, waking up this morning. We were at 10. That is a seasonal low temperature, so we're already on the rise. 11K winds out of the northwest, making for a very pleasant start to your morning. The pressure rising. The humidity is high, though, sitting at 100%. The sun is up, blue sky, especially off to the east. Looking to the west, there's a few extra clouds, and we might kind of see them passing over us. So mix of sun and cloud through the day, but more so into the evening time. Things will really be clearing out nicely. And I mentioned the seasonal temperatures today, 23 degrees. That is bang on normal for this time of year. And we'll spend the day with some sunshine and just a light breeze. There's a little pigeon that came to see me up here. Oh, there's two. Hello. I have a little pigeon. Anyway, we have Ainsley McPhail out on location this morning. Let's check in and see what's going on. Hey, Ainsley.
Good morning. You're so funny. We're talking about Pride Winnipeg, and we're talking about all the festivities going on this weekend. It's Head Honcho is joining me now, Barry Carlenzig. Thank you for being here today. What's on tap? Lots going on.
So lots going on this year. As you can see, the weather's cooperated, so we've had a chance to actually set up more this year. So we're about a half a day ahead of schedule because of our great volunteer board that we have and our suppliers, and some major exciting announcements this year. So for main stage, for the first time, we'll have described audio, much like we have in the parade.
Wow, yeah, and we're chatting with somebody about accessibility today, too, so that's perfect. When it comes to the parade, it's one of the best in the country, right?
So, yes, it is one of the best in the country. I am proud to say we are the 4th largest Pride in Canada, and that is something to be proud of. We have a record number of entries again this year, and thanks to CTV, we actually have it live streaming. So thank you to you and your team again for doing it for many years, because that's also adding to accessibility, because to this day, there are still people who do not feel comfortable coming out. So by doing accessible viewing areas and by having it live streamed, people can still be part of the festivities and part of the original protest that happened in 1987 that's continued to this day, but do it from home.
Mm-hmm. And so much community is involved in this, whether it be with sponsors or community agencies and organizations, many of which serve the queer community as well. Tell us about that and who people can interact with.
So this year we have a record number of community partners. So we have Trans Manitoba here, Bahagari Manitoba, which is the queer Filipino community. We have CIRC, Rainbow Resource Center, Our Own Health. Something that is actually very proud to me this year is more than 60% of our sponsors this year actually donated their tent space that's part of their sponsor agreements to the community, so we could expand the community zone and really showcase community. And that shows the true heart of our partners and our sponsors here and that are local and even national partners, that they're here for the right reasons. They're here to give back to the community.
Tomorrow, early afternoon, people are going to be coming to this stage particularly. Anything you think that they should check out?
So I know at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning is the Trans March at the Manitoba Legislative, and then over here from 12 to 1 there's trans programming. We do have a special guest at 12 on stage, and then we do have a special announcement at about 2:30 Saturday. I can't share much more on that, but I can share our Sunday headliner. Most people don't necessarily recognize who Simone Denny is, but if you remember the song You're a Superstar from the 90s, that was Simone Denny and her team. So
sing it.
No.
We're going to break. We're going to break. Sorry, no time left.
Here's a look at the early markets. The Dow Jones added 62 points. The Nasdaq fell 301. The S&P index slipped 33. The Canadian dollar increased, set to 72.7 cents U.S. Overseas, the Hang Seng is 291 points down, and the Nikkei lost 882 points. Good morning. It is 6:46. If you own a home or business in Winnipeg, a letter detailing your property's new assessed value is in the mail. The city sent out reassessed value property values to more than 243,000 Winnipeggers. Assessments are done every 2 years to reflect changes in the real estate market. This is not a tax bill and will not impact this year's statement. However, it will affect next year's tax bill. The assessments are considered final, but you can discuss the values with city staff. The deadline to file an application to the Board of Revision is on June 29th. A LeMay Forest protester has now paid her contempt of court fine, but says the fight isn't over yet.
The fact is we won, and that's what's most important.
On Thursday, Louise May delivered a check for $15,000 to the lawyer representing the development company. In February 2025, May was found in contempt for breaching an injunction requiring protesters to allow crews to access to the forest. The fine was paid through community fundraising, and May says the additional money raised will be used to help others and for the ongoing challenge to the Manitoba Professional Planner Institute.
There are still other legal cases that are up, and we will be doing this for another couple years, I think.
The province expropriated LeMay Forest in April. Brandon University wants to find out what you wish teachers really knew about your family. The school is launching its Truth for Teachers postcard campaign. Researchers are asking community members to anonymously send them letters, starting with, quote, something I wish I could tell the teacher. The university says anonymous letters give people a chance to openly share their thoughts.
We started it because a lot of marginalized communities and family members often experience a lot of barriers. That could be financial, that could be things like in terms of like the postcards that we've received so far. There's been talks of like not being able to afford things like a school trip.
The postcards will be used to help train teachers about possible challenges and ways to work on inclusivity. More details on how to participate can be found on storygrounds.ca. A former RCMP officer is now facing 13 charges, accused of sharing classified information. Michael Skoretz was an officer in BC. He retired in 2025. He was arrested yesterday and is now facing 6 counts of unauthorized communication of special operational information. He's also facing 7 counts of breach of trust. The offenses are alleged to have happened between 2020 and 2023. Officials say none of the charges involve current national security investigations. Vancouver General is the first hospital in Canada to use this robot.
Able to speed up our drug delivery process and production by approximately 30% relative to doing it in a manual fashion.
It's known as a chemo robot, and its job is to prepare treatments for patients. Hospital staff are calling it a game changer that's fast, accurate, and safe. They're confident this robot is ready for a wider rollout in BC and across Canada. A Winnipeg-born player was the overtime hero in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup final last night. Seth Jarvis of the Carolina Hurricanes notched the overtime winner as the Canes evened up the series with a 4-3 win. Jarvis scored the winner on the power play at 3:56 of the extra frame, blasting a one-timer past Carter Hart with Thomas Hertl in the box for tripping. It was the 4th of the postseason for Jarvis, who had not scored since Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final against the Montreal Canadiens. Game 3 goes tomorrow night in Vegas. Manitobans will gather to mark the start of Pride Month in Manitoba on Sunday. Winnipeg Pride will host its annual Pride Rally and Parade at 10 a.m. outside the Manitoba Legislative Building. The rally is expected to end at 10:45, with the parade getting underway at 11 a.m. CTV News Winnipeg will live stream coverage of the parade online starting at 11 a.m. The parade will begin on Memorial Boulevard and will proceed down Portage Avenue before ending at Blue Cross Park. Expect traffic detours affecting several downtown streets and transit reroutes to accommodate the parade. Following the parade, activities and performances will take place at the Forks. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. On St. Mary's Road, the southbound curb lane will be closed from Highfield Street to Niverville Avenue. The southbound median lane on King Edward Street will be closed between Dublin and Wellington Avenue, and Hargrave Street will be closed from Bannatyne to William Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips, send us a text, please.
Beautiful outside this morning, 11 degrees with a northwest wind, 11 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 100%. Look at that sky. Stunning already. Seeing some blue sky, a few clouds, but even those few clouds will likely be clearing later on into the afternoon. The only bit of precipitation that we're seeing this morning is right along that very southern border, but barely. Most of the province will be fairly clear today and fairly warm today, above seasonal temperatures, high teens or those low to mid 20s, maybe a few extra clouds lingering right along that very eastern border, and where it's cloudier without as much sun warming you up, it'll likely be a little bit cooler. So that'll be the case over in Island Lake. Some places through central Manitoba might also still have a few extra clouds lingering, but still high teens, low 20s, or with abundant sunshine, mid to high 20s. Lynn Lake, 26 degrees. I'm jealous of where you're headed today. Low 20s throughout much of southwestern Manitoba. Now, 23 degrees is a normal daytime high, and that's pretty much the zone of what you can expect today, and just a light breeze as well. So overall, a very, very pleasant day. Right in the zone of what you would expect. If you want the heat back, we only have to wait another day because it's coming in a very big way for tomorrow. Northwestern Ontario, you're looking to be very similar to us with these low to mid 20 temperatures and a mix of sun and cloud. Now, abundant sunshine tomorrow with the temperatures on the rise, hitting the 30-degree mark both Saturday and Sunday, possibly getting stormy into the start of next week. But next week, these temperatures either seasonal or above still in those mid to high 20s with some off and on precipitation throughout.
Thank you, Terry. Let's check in now on Bo and Gabby at Bounce 99.9. Hello, you two. Happy Friday.
Not only that, Rochelle, happy Donut Day.
Yeah.
Growing up, I liked what we called in German a Berliner, which is basically a jam buster. Oh, I love that. Do you have a favorite, Gabby?
Yeah, absolutely. A sour cream glaze, because it's cakey. I like those cakey donuts that feel a little bit more filling, like you're really getting more bang for your buck. Rochelle, do you have a favorite donut?
I like the apple fritter. I like all of them, to be honest. You know those little chocolate Timbits? I love those too. I can eat donuts anytime. All kinds. It's so good.
Nice.
They're so cute. Yeah.
Speaking of happy Pride Day, of course. Yeah. Happy Pride weekend coming up. I saw you mention the parade. Yep. Gabby and I will be there, and I know I saw you there last year. It was hot. I think it's going to be hot again this year.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wear a hat.
Yeah, we'll be dancing our way through downtown with very heavy SPF coverage for some of us.
When it's over 30 degrees, I ride in the bounce mobile. I am not walking. Okay, it's too hot for an old guy.
I'm actually going to be carrying him on my back. That's our plan for Pride.
Hey, you know what else starts today is the Red River X. Growing up, do you have any X memories, Rochelle?
Oh, it's kind of embarrassing. When I was 12 years old, I had just bought this brand new denim purse with studs on it, and I decided it was a good time to go on the zipper ride, which I'd never gone on before. And I'm in the ride, and I forgot to close the zipper on my purse. Everything spilled out in the zipper. I had my lipstick rolling around. I had my $4 floating in the zipper. It was so embarrassing. And then when it ended, my hair was wild and my purse was wide open. It was so embarrassing, but I managed to save my $4.
I can. When they say, "Do you want to go faster?" I see Rochelle going, "No, stop!
Not now. Wait, I got to zip up my bag." How about you guys?
It sounds like a really cute purse, though.
Well, growing up, I remember the X used to be around Polo Park area, right? Yeah. Around the old football stadium. I wasn't big on rides, but I remember stuff like come and see the man-eating chicken. Oh. And you'd pay to go in there, and it's a guy sitting at a table eating a chicken.
Oh, come on.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys Sunday. A Halloween decoration is helping one woman on Vancouver Island express herself in ways she never imagined. By spreading joy in her community, she's been able to let go of a painful past. CTV's Adam Sawatsky explains.
For as long as she can recall, Melissa Bowers has strived to make her world brighter.
I love to see everybody smile and be happy. Ever since I was a kid, my mom said.
But when Melissa was a kid, going to school couldn't have felt darker.
I'm the quiet, hide-in-the-corner type person. When I was a kid, I was picked on.
The bullying got so bad, Melissa dropped out in grade 10.
Kind of broke my heart, and, it was... But I found a job, and everything kind of worked from there.
She got married, had kids who finished high school, including one named valedictorian. And then there was that day they drove past one of those giant skeletons.
Oh, I had goosebumps. I really did.
What felt so good during Halloween, Melissa decided to leave it up and decorate the skeleton for Christmas.
So I was afraid people were going to, name call or pick on me.
But after the skeleton celebrated Valentine's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, and Canada Day, instead of criticism,
instead I got flowers, I've gotten cards and cookies, just everybody thanking me.
And perhaps the greatest gift of all is how it made a young girl who was picked on for being quiet finally feel heard.
Through the big skeletons. Yeah, I speak through them.
And what she's saying now to everyone in the neighborhood who's graduating is congratulations.
Just for all the kids that worked so hard for the full 12 plus years.
And if these skeletal scholars could deliver a commencement speech, they'd begin by saying, be yourself and never give up.
We all have hiccups in life.
But life will get better.
It will, yeah. It always does.
And in this world where we're judged by our differences on the outside, Melissa says never forget we're all the same on the inside. We're all just skeletons.
Be nice to each other. Be happy. Love each other, really.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News.
Here's a look outside right now on Notre Dame Avenue. Things are moving well over here this Friday morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this. It's Friday, June the 5th. Today, AI project rejected. Why Premier Wab Kinew says the risks outweigh the rewards for a proposed AI data center near Ile-des-Chênes. Plus, PC nomination blocked. A former progressive conservative leadership candidate is being barred from seeking the party nomination in Turtle Mountain. And $46 million and counting. How one winning ticket turned a semi-retired Manitoban into the province's newest multi-millionaire. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. Happy Friday. It is 7 o'clock. Thank you so much.
We made it to Friday.
We made it, and it's going to be a wonderful weekend. And we have a lot in the next couple of hours for you, including at 7:52. We're going to introduce you to a 12-year-old kid who really wanted a brand new dirt bike. Well, you can't get a job when you're 12 years old, right? So then he started his own business, and it's a success. He got the dirt bike. He's in the process of maybe getting a different dirt bike because he's making good money, and he's having a successful business.
So he's coming in to give us business tips?
He's going to talk to us at 7:52 and tell us how this plan became to be and what he's doing. So stay tuned for that. But the weather, it's going to be a scorcher this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend is going to get hot. If you don't like that, then make the most of today, because today will be pretty much perfect. Bang on seasonal, if you will. 10 degrees is a normal low, and that's where we were last hour. And then we bumped up to 11 degrees through the 6 o'clock hour. We're probably going to see that rise again now into the 7 o'clock hour, because there's plenty of sunshine to kick us off right now. There's just a light breeze out of the northwest, 11 kilometers per hour. The pressure is rising and the humidity sitting at 100%. So yes, it's already beginning to warm up. Sunshine out there, a few clouds, and we might see a few more of those clouds kind of over the course of the morning. The precipitation likely to remain south of the border, or maybe just kissing anybody right along that very southern edge. But for the most part, it is going to be a beautiful day, and these extra clouds that we might see moving in, because I've been looking at some off to the west that kind of look like they might roll over us. They'll also be rolling right back out again. So clearing as the day goes on, then plenty of sunshine, pleasant temperatures, and just a light breeze. So beautiful way to be finishing off the work week. And then we're going to kick off the weekend with some heat, and that heat could bring some more active weather weather, especially through the southwest. Here's tomorrow evening, and I stopped it just to see the activity that could be developing there. Once we're getting into the yellows, the reds, the oranges, those could be possibly severe storms. So just kind of keep an eye on the situation for tomorrow evening, and that could take you overnight and into Sunday. Now, it doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of that here in the southeast. Remaining on the clearer side, still plenty of heat throughout the weekend. For us, that chance of storms could come on Monday and off and on throughout next week, with those temperatures still looking to be seasonal or above. And our art today is thank you to 16-year-old Alexander. Very cool what you've done here, and we'd love to see more of whatever it is you're working on. So send your art or pictures of it through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. And when you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crocodiddle on Keniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crocodiddle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
It could be game over for a large AI data center project near Île-des-Chênes. Premier Wab Kinew is saying no to the plan, which would have seen the center rise on more than 141 hectares of land. That's 350 acres southeast of Winnipeg. But as CTV's Jeff Keel shows you, the Premier says the risks outweigh the benefits.
Premier Wab Kinew is rejecting a plan to build an AI data center southeast of Winnipeg.
The idea of a hyperscale data center? No.
Jet AI and Consensus Corps secured purchase agreements for 350 acres north of Île-des-Chênes. Data centers are typically large facilities which house vast networks of servers needed for computing and networking infrastructure. Now, the Premier says the environmental risks outweigh the economic benefits for this project, and he points to the power this type of data center requires.
If we could do 100 Selkirk steel mills or a data center, which one is going to create more long-term benefits? Which one is going to create more happiness? Which one's going to create more jobs and careers?
There is happiness for people who live near the site following Kinew's decision.
We're extremely happy to hear everything that he had to say this morning. It was really unexpected.
Christy Little started a petition against the plan. She has concerns about the loss of farmland and potential air, water, and noise pollution.
I didn't want to live beside it. Nobody wanted. Our whole community didn't want to live beside it.
Consensus Core Technologies CEO Wayne Lloyd tells CTV News in a statement they look forward to reviewing the Premier's comments and a robust engagement process. Lloyd says this proposal is different than other compute projects as it will create a significant number of well-paying union jobs, will generate and store its own energy, and add millions of dollars of tax revenue. Consensus Core remains committed to ensuring this generational investment benefits all Manitobans in the current economy and for decades to come. The Manitoba Chambers of Commerce was surprised by the decision. It says the province needs to set clear parameters around what is an acceptable size for a data center.
We know that this is not going away, that there's going to be other projects that are going to be looking at Manitoba as a potential. And I think what we don't want to be doing is driving away investment.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Premier says there is room for data centers in Manitoba, pointing out we already have them, and he predicts there will be more. A former leadership candidate for Manitoba's Progressive Conservatives will not be allowed to run again for the party. The PC's announced Wally Doddridge will not be able to seek nomination under the party's banner in the riding of Turtle Mountain. Doddridge previously announced his intentions to seek the nomination, and according to social media posts, he's already been out campaigning in the area. No reason was provided for why Doddridge won't be able to seek nomination. Doyle Pinnock is the current PC MLA for the area, but he's not seeking re-election. Doddridge went head-to-head with Tory leader Abi Khan in last year's leadership race, narrowly losing the contest. Manitoba's next provincial election is scheduled for 2027. CTV News has reached out to Doddridge for comment. Quebec is expanding its language laws to include adult education, forcing people to learn in French.
You're going to have a dropout rate that's going to go up. You're going to have more unemployment, and you're going to have a terrible impact on Quebec's economy.
Reaction from the Quebec English School Boards Association has been swift. They believe the change will lead to more dropouts. Under the proposed bill, 27,000 students studying in English will have to move to the French sector. The English Parents Committee Association of Quebec is also pushing back, saying Quebec can still protect the French language and provide access to education that meets basic needs. If the bill is passed, the CAQ says there will be a transition period, meaning the rules won't come into effect until 2028. The winner of the largest Lotto 649 jackpot in our province's history came forward Thursday to collect his big check. Early Giesbrecht is $46 million richer. He bought the winning ticket for the May 16th Lotto 649 Gold Ball draw from First Stop Grocers in Whitemouth. And when the 70-year-old found out about his big win, he tells us he felt like he might have hit the big one.
My thoughts went to my children on their way and my grandchildren, that I would help them in life. That's more important, my children, than anything else.
Giesbrecht plans to use his winnings to help out his children, pay off his ex-wife's mortgage, and maybe consider retiring. He's only semi-retired right now. His advice to wannabe winners is simple: buy a ticket. And in case you're curious, the second largest 649 jackpot won in Manitoba was $27.5 million and happened almost exactly 5 years ago. Winnipeg's trees are finally leafy again, but we aren't the only ones enjoying the green canopy. Tree pest caterpillars are emerging, and starting next week, the city will be spraying for the pests. Crews will start spraying Monday night in the following areas: Monroe West, Rossmere, Jefferson, Kildonan Park, and Seven Oaks. They'll focus on boulevards, city parks, and cemeteries for the next 4 weeks. Spraying will be happening on weekdays, weather permitting. Here's a look outside now at the Norwood Bridge. Look at that gorgeous canopy. You can see it's beautiful out there right now, and things are moving well in traffic as well.
The C.D. Howe Institute's Business Cycle Council is traditionally viewed as the arbiter for calling a recession in Canada, and the council says in a bulletin that 2 quarters of declining GDP in a row are not sufficient to call a recession, and is urging caution over reading too much into the recent data. The group of economists argues weakness in Canada's economy is not yet widespread or persistent enough to warrant the recession label, and the marginal decline in the first quarter of the year will be subject to revisions in the months ahead. One of the federal Liberals' flagship affordability measures will land in the bank account of eligible Canadians starting today. The Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit replaces the GST HST credit. An estimated 12 million Canadians are eligible for the one-time deal, and amounts vary based on the size of your household, from $267 to $533. A more than 2-month run of weekly gains for the S&P 500 may be coming to an end today. An off day today, which is possible over AI trade taking another hit, would snap a 9-week run of gains, the longest weekly win streak in 40 years. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at the Forks telling us all about Pride. Good morning, Ainsley.
Hi, good morning, Rochelle. I wore my most colorful dress today to talk about Pride Winnipeg, but they've given me a little bit of merch, which apparently sells out very quickly. The Pride Parade is happening on Sunday. You can see some of your favorite CTV people there, including our Rochelle Legacy. But there's many other festivities going on throughout the weekend, including community sponsors and community advocacy groups as well. Coming up at 7:27, we're going to learn about why Pride wants to be eco-friendly. We're also going to be talking about accessibility. Now, for the first time, they're going to have described video. For years, they have had ASL interpreters, but they're doing what they can to make a more inclusive community overall. So enjoy the parade, enjoy the vendors, enjoy the sunshine.
All right, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. It's a beautiful sunny day today.
Yes, I'm already enjoying that sunshine. Sure, Ainsley, I'll take your cue. Beautiful out here this morning, pleasant with the temperatures. I mean, we were as cool as seasonal. That's 10 degrees this time of year. But now we're making some gains. We got to 11 degrees last hour, 13 now, so up another couple, and plenty of sunshine to enjoy this morning. I can still see a few of those extra clouds beginning to kind of just pass on over, but really, I mean, a mix of sun and cloud will still make for a very pleasant day. A bit of a breeze at the moment. Is out of the northwest. I can't even see my screen anymore. Either way, it's 14 kilometers per hour. That pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 92%. So yes, that humidity is starting to drop off as well, which will make things feel a little more pleasant. With seasonal temperatures on tap, honestly, it'll be about a perfect of a day as you could ask for as far as what is normal for this time of year. And across the province, mix of sun and cloud and really pleasant temperatures. But it is about to get hot. So for those of you that love the heat, and I have to say I'm one of them, this weekend, bit scorching, not stupid hot. I shouldn't have said that. I mean, not ridiculously hot, but up into those low 30s all throughout the weekend.
Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
It's time now for a question of the day. Today is National Donut Day, so we want to know, what's your favorite donut? You can text your answer to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response, and don't forget to include your name, please.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
At Your Morning Winnipeg, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, whether they're furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca, and then catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back right after this. Good morning. The Winnipeg Police Service is searching for a teenager who has been missing for nearly 2 weeks. 15-year-old Antonia Spence was last seen on May 23rd at 1:45 p.m. in the 200 block of Sun Valley Drive in North Kildonan. Police describe Spence as 5'6" in height with a thin build, brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a gray sweater, blue sweatpants, black shoes and a black backpack. Anyone with information on Spence's whereabouts is asked to call police at 204-986-6250 or Crime Stoppers at 204-786-8477. An arrest has been made in a series of sexual assaults which mainly targeted underage girls, and police say they all took place on a single day in St. Boniface. Investigators allege the spree started when a man confronted 2 teenage girls walking near Horace Street and Desmarais Street on May 25th. Police say the 67-year-old man approached them, started to grab them, and sexually assaulted them in the process. The girls escaped, but the man followed until they sought help at a nearby school. Not long after, police say the same suspect went to a school where kids were out for recess and commented on the appearance of a group of young girls. They ran away and told school staff about what had happened. Minutes later, police say the man then approached a woman in her 20s who was mowing her lawn in the Archwood neighborhood. They say the man grabbed the lawnmower and sexually assaulted the woman. She was able to escape and called police. The 67-year-old suspect was arrested shortly after 1 p.m. in the 400 block of Edgewood Street. He's charged with 3 counts of sexual assault and was released with conditions. The charges have not been tested in court. Winnipeg police continue to investigate and ask anyone with information to call the Sex Crimes Unit. After nearly 2 decades helping animals, Prairie Wildlife Rehab has decided this summer will be its last. The center says it helps rehabilitate more than 2,000 animals every year. The decision to wind down operations comes as the volunteer-based charity faces challenges related to funding, staffing, and the increased costs of operations. As of now, it is no longer admitting new wildlife patients. Instead, officials plan to focus on caring and healing the animals currently in the center's care. Here's the look right now at the St. James Bridge. Things are moving well over here, it looks like. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see anything out there, though, please give us a heads up.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Well, here's some exciting news. If you watched Canadian television in the late 70s or early 80s, odds are you're familiar with the exploits of the littlest hobo. Well, get ready to watch the dog wander from town to town again in the near future.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me.
The iconic Canadian show is getting a remake. Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg will produce a new live-action take on the old Canadian classic. The reboot is the first scripted project in the Canadian market for Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's Point Grey Pictures, who are teaming up with Lionsgate Canada and Crave. The Littlest Hobo originally aired on CTV from 1979 to 1985. It followed a German Shepherd as he traveled across the country, stopping to help people in need. In the announcement, Rogen and Goldberg said The Littlest Hobo was a foundational show for them during their childhood. And there was a strong response to a hotly awaited product drop linked to heated rivalry.
Men's short form figure skating? My buddy Joe's in that program. Train together.
Pre-sales started Wednesday for the Team Canada fleece jacket worn by Hudson Williams as his character Shane Hollander in the hit series from CTV's Bell Media partner Crave. Demand was high despite the $356 price tag. In fact, all sizes are sold out. Retailer Province of Canada says 10% of proceeds will support You Can Play, an organization aimed at addressing homophobia and other forms of discrimination in hockey. The UFC and Paramount plan to expand their partnership into Canada next year. Under the 6-year deal, all UFC-numbered event main cards, traditionally known as pay-per-view events, will be available exclusively to Paramount Plus streaming subscribers in Canada. Last year, Paramount and the UFC announced a 7-year partnership in the United States, Latin America, and Australia. The 13 annual numbered mixed martial arts events typically feature championship bouts and showcase the promotion's biggest stars. Right now, the pay-per-view cards cost $70 in Canada. When the agreement kicks in, the UFC will be available on all of the Paramount Plus pricing tiers, the lowest of which costs $7.99. Here's your Friday primetime lineup. Spring Break Murders starts at 7. Crime Scene Investigators comes next at 8. And then Boston Blue wraps things up at 9 o'clock. It's all right here tonight on CTV. I don't know about you, Terry, but I'm going outside tonight.
100% all weekend. I mean, I'm somebody that I love the heat, so I'll be soaking it up because it is about to get ramped up this weekend. Although today will still be a very pleasant day. We're looking now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. It's already gorgeous out there. Every time I'm upstairs on the rooftop, well, first of all, it's warmer than it is here in the studio, but the way the sun is shining down and everything is just looking so good. My plants are looking so happy. They got a good soaking the other day and now some sunshine. Is a stunning start to your Friday. 13 degrees is where we're sitting now, but 10 was a seasonal low. That's as cool as we had dropped to first thing. But with that sunshine, it's already beginning to warm up. So we're now seeing some well, 12 degrees for Brandon, Dauphin, over in Gimli and in Fisher Branch. Only slightly cooler, Swan River, the Paw, 11 degrees, but double digits already for you first thing. Some places are still in single digits, but it looks like Island Lake might be the only one. Otherwise, double digits as it continues to warm up across northern Manitoba as well. And everybody gets to enjoy some sunshine today. There will be very little in the way of precipitation. If you see it at all, it'll be along that very most southern border, or you can see a little bit here in the southwest, but overall, pretty clear, or at least a mix of sun and cloud, and pleasant temperatures, or seasonal, which I think a lot of people, that's kind of their happy zone. I know there's folks that don't like the extreme temperatures, as I tend to like, but if the case is mid-20s for you and that's your happy place, then know that today will be pretty much perfect. 23 are expected high by the time kids are coming home from school, and that is normal for this time of year. But if you love the heat, you'll get some of that too coming in for the weekend. We're into the 30-degree range. Plenty of sunshine throughout the weekend itself, but southwestern Manitoba could see some storms by tomorrow night. We might see that storm action settling in on Monday, continuing off and on throughout the week. It was so beautiful yesterday morning. I'm not sure if you remember, but if you didn't, this is the scene out in St. Norbert. Rooster out for a walk there. Rooster the dog. Thank you, Henry, for sharing the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
June 5th, 1752. Benjamin Franklin, in his kite flying experiment, discovered that lightning is the same as static electricity. The experiment led to the invention of the lightning rod because Franklin realized that electricity from storms could be safely redirected to the ground. The discovery led to international fame for Franklin. June 5th, 1968. U.S. Senator Robert Kennedy was fatally wounded by a gunman in a Los Angeles hotel. Kennedy, who had just claimed victory in California's Democratic presidential primary, died about 32 hours later. He was 42. Sirhan Bishara Sirhan was convicted of the murder, but his death sentence was commuted to life in prison. June 5th, 1980. 19-year-old Wayne Gretzky, first-year center of the Edmonton Oilers, won the Hart Memorial Trophy and the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy, making him the youngest player to win 2 individual NHL awards in one season. He won the Lady Byng Trophy for sportsmanship 5 times in all, and the Hart Trophy for most valuable player, a record 9 times.
It's time now for this week's Adorable Adoptables. We begin with Lenny, a young, playful pup eager to make new friends. He's always full of enthusiasm when it's time for a walk. Lenny's friendly demeanor makes him a perfect family pet, ready to bring joy and laughter into your home. Next up is Shyla, a bouncy brindle bundle of joy who believes every day is the best day ever, especially if snacks are involved. Shyla is equal parts cuddle bug and zoomy champion, always ready to turn your living room into her personal racetrack. And then meet Sophie. She's equal parts goof and diva. This is almost 3 years. She's almost 3 years old, loves to play with a wand toy, loves a cuddle and some scratches, and is confident enough to tell you when she's done. If you think you can offer any of these animals a good home, just head down to the Winnipeg Humane Society or give them a call. The number is there on your screen. If you're trying to plan out your Folk Fest weekend, check out this Your Morning Winnipeg contest. The 51st edition of Folk Festival runs July 9th to the 12th out at Birds Hill Park. Taking the main stage, Father John Misty, Lucy Dacus, Sylvan Esso, and Monsters and Men. And this is your chance to win 4 tickets and invite your family and friends to enjoy all 4 days of the Winnipeg Folk Festival. To enter, head to the contest page on our website, ctvwinnipeg.ca, and don't forget to enter the keyword HAPPY. Good luck. Coming up, we're live at the Forks this morning. Pride Winnipeg is happening on Sunday, but there's all kinds of things happening throughout the weekend and throughout the month as well. Ainsley will tell us more after the break. Stay with us. Downtown Winnipeg is going to be alive with all kinds of Pride activities this weekend. Ainsley is live at the Forks where a lot of those activities are planned. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi, thousands of Manitobans heading to downtown for Pride, one of the biggest in the country. Barry's joining me once again. I may never take off these unicorn horns because they're amazing. Tell me about some of the merch available.
So some of the merch available, we have our standard Pride Winnipeg merch. We also have all of our flags, things like that. But last year we added, and this year we've expanded our kids merch. So in our kids area, we have specific kids merchandise. So much like the headband you're wearing, we have Pride stuffed animals. We have little scrunchies, tutus, all that kind of stuff. So our merch team really wanted to make sure, because a lot of the community feedback was great that there's merch for adults, but what about the kids? So we added that this year, which is a huge accomplishment to our merchandise team.
Well, that means then you can purchase it on Saturday, and then Sunday you can wear it the next day to the parade.
Exactly. So you can purchase it, and then right after the festival. So normally what our merchandise team does is Monday, right after the festival, they do the inventory. So our website of our online store is back up on Tuesday. So you can still buy it throughout Pride Month.
Oh, I love that. Okay, pivoting a little bit here. You guys are, not only are you inclusive, but you're also eco-friendly. Explain what I mean by that.
So what I mean by that is in 2018, we banned single-use plastic water bottles to follow suit with the Forks for their Target Zero. And since 2022, we actually have a waste sorting station. So thanks to great partnerships with Recycle Everywhere, Compost Winnipeg, and GFL, we actually have composting, recycling, everything here. We have a great team of volunteers that come in and do a waste audit and actually go through all of our garbage and make sure that we're being as eco-friendly as possible. And then every year we actually produce a waste audit, so it actually shows our economic impact. We've also, for our festival grounds, anybody who's selling anything, our beer tent, everything, is all compostable cups. So we try to make sure that we're making sure to save the environment for the next generation.
That's so thoughtful. Why was it important to incorporate that into Pride?
So it was really important was because when we worked with the Forks, we understood Forks is Target Zero. We know that the grounds we're on have been here for many years, and we want them to continue. We want to respect our elders that we've received this ground from and our Indigenous partners. So we want to make sure that we're giving back and making sure that this amazing festival space and this amazing space is here for years to come and generations to come.
But you said that so beautifully, which is awesome because I haven't been able to see you throughout the entire segment because the sun's so bright. But that's a good thing, okay? Pride is going to be a beautiful weekend.
Yes,
come on down.
It will be. All right, thank you, Ainsley. It's going to be beautiful and it's going to be hot.
It sure is, yes. So, I mean, as gorgeous as it was looking down there, it's early in the morning, right? And these temperatures haven't reached their peaks yet, although today we're going to peak out at about seasonal values. This weekend, though, it is going to rise into a hot zone, so you're going to want to be smart about the time that you're spending outside. This morning, though, get outside and enjoy it. 13 degrees. It is beautiful. Just a bit of a breeze out of the north-northwest. That wind is 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 92%. So much sunshine out there. You saw the way Ainsley and the grass, everything was just glowing out there. And yes, beautiful conditions throughout the day. A few extra clouds might pass over us at some points, but then clearing out again. And across the province, pretty much everybody can expect the same. There might be a few extra clouds through some parts of central Manitoba, but even those clearing out eventually. 23 degrees is where we're headed today. That is in fact bang on seasonal, so a perfectly pleasant, normal for this time of year day, and it will come with just a bit of a breeze out of the northwest at about 15 kilometers per hour. Tonight dropping down to 13 degrees. That's actually above seasonal. 10 degrees would be a normal low, so we're not going to dip that far. The winds start to shift out of the south at about 15 clicks. Tomorrow we'll be feeling the heat. Nothing but sunshine expected and a bit more of a breeze, which we'll be glad for if we're going to get to 30 degrees. So that wind at times could be gusting to about 40 kilometers per hour, and Sunday even hotter yet, up to 32. Whew, right? And then into the start of next week, we could start to see some storms. I should mention that southwestern Manitoba might start to see those storms by tomorrow night, Saturday night, and into Sunday morning. Here in the southeast, it might take a little more time, but off and on through next week, a good chance.
Winnipeg transit riders are weighing in with their safety concerns. The feedback comes as a new city report shows just how many people are riding without paying.
I sit on the bus differently. I don't sit with my back to the passengers. I sit towards the front.
Brent LaRose says he still doesn't feel safe taking the bus around the city. He's still recovering from an attack while he was on board a bus in February. A new report from the City of Winnipeg aims to improve safety on transit buses with a shift in focus towards a crackdown on fare evasion. City data shows that between January 1st and April 20th, the community safety team intervened just over 20,000 times.
I think the numbers are pretty impressive for a small team that we have, and we've really been putting a focused effort on education and awareness.
Robert Christmas is the lead for the community safety team. He says the city has put 30 community safety officers on buses since 2024. He says there has been a shift since July of last year, strengthening their team's presence on buses to help crack down on fare evasion. Public Works Chair Janice Luke says it's not clear how much the city has lost to fare evasion. She says more provincial investment could bolster the number of community safety officers. If you own a home or business in Winnipeg, a letter detailing your property's new assessed value is in the mail. The city sent out reassessed property values to more than 243,000 Winnipeggers. Assessments are done every 2 years to reflect changes in the real estate market. This is not a tax bill and will not impact this year's statement. However, it will affect next year's tax bill. The deadline to file an application to the Board of Revision is June 29th. The chiefs of Treaty 8 First Nations in Alberta are calling on the province's premier to scrap the fall referendum on independence.
This premier is totally lost, gone. Got no credibility left.
The courts have determined time and time again our rights. Yet we have a premier that seems to think that our rights don't matter.
It's not only an attack on our treaty, it's an attack on every treaty in this country.
In an open letter to Danielle Smith, the chiefs say Alberta cannot proceed with the question on separation in the fall referendum without consulting Indigenous groups. The Premier's office says the format of the question, asking Albertans if they want to stay or hold a later binding referendum, doesn't trigger a duty to consult. A new report suggests the federal government's energy deal with Alberta will do little to reduce emissions. The report by the Canadian Climate Institute says there are minimal benefits around emission reductions as a result of the Memorandum of Understanding between Ottawa and Alberta. The MOU touches on industrial carbon pricing and looks to bring Alberta's market price of carbon to $130 per ton by 2040. The report says the new system created by the agreement would end up discouraging investment in emission reduction measures. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is proposing face-to-face talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin. In an open letter, President Zelensky said peace can only come through direct engagement between Ukraine and Russia. The Kremlin confirmed it had received the letter. Officials say there is a standing offer for President Zelensky to meet President Putin in Moscow. Also this morning, there has been another incident in Romania. The drone exploded near an oil terminal at a Romanian Black Sea port. This is the same type of drone Russia has used against Ukraine. Russia is saying the drone is Ukrainian. A week ago, a Russian drone crashed into an apartment building in southeast Romania, injuring 2 people. Grab a coffee, go on a quest. It's all part of a day's work.
The truth is, everyone has niche skill sets that they can contribute to other people's lives if you just take time to think about it a little bit more.
Labo Coffee in Edmonton has put up what it calls its Side Quest board. It's basically a way for people to exchange favors for each other. For example, someone who needs to plant some flowers can help someone else put a mixtape together. The coffee shop calls the board a more natural way for people to connect offline. We have some road closures to remind you about this morning. On St. Mary's Road, the southbound curb lane will be closed from Highfield Street to Niverville Avenue. The southbound median lane on King Edward Street will be closed between Dublin and Wellington Avenue, and Hargrave Street will be closed from Bannatyne to William Avenue. If you have any other traffic tips, please send us a text. Here's a look at your gas prices in Winnipeg. The average is $1.58. It's lower than it was yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Here's a look outside. It's sunny, 13 degrees. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this.
Degrees outside this morning. A gorgeous start to your Friday. The sun is shining. The winds are light to moderate. 14K breeze out of the north-northwest. The pressure is falling. The humidity sitting at 92%. It's pleasant out there this morning. There is the possibility that if you're right along that very southern border, you see a little bit of passing precipitation. You can see a bit more coming into the southwestern part of the province. For the most part, though, it's going to be on the clearer side. There might be a few extra clouds hanging around in some parts of the province, but then as we continue on into the evening time, clouds should be clearing. Now, with those clouds, there's the possibility of some brief passing precipitation. Island Lake, you might see some of that. Temperature-wise, though, it's looking good from 17 up into the low to mid-20s throughout northeastern Manitoba. Look at Lynn Lake. Sunshine, 26 degrees. Those few extra clouds that might hang around through a good portion of the day should also likely clear into the evening time. And still, temperatures are going to be climbing to above seasonal values through much of northern Manitoba, or bang on seasonal here in the south. 23 degrees. That would be a normal daytime high. And that's pretty much the zone that you can expect us to be in for today. And enjoy it, because if you're not a fan of the heat, this will be the day that you want to maximize and make the most of, because that heat is coming back and it's sticking around all weekend long. So we're really going to notice the mercury on the rise, but things starting to get a little bit dicey with conditions as well. For example, southwestern Manitoba tomorrow, you could begin to see some thunderstorms rolling through. Here in the southeast, it'll remain very sunny, and Sunday too, just a few clouds building up. Low 30s expected through the weekend. We could start to see that storm activity here in the southeast by the start of next week, or off and on throughout next week with these mid to high 20 temps.
Thank you, Terry. Let's go back now to Ainsley, who's enjoying the unicorn headband. It looks great on you, Ainsley. It's all for pride. Good morning.
You know what? If you didn't mention it, it would have been weird, because if people didn't see the last segment, it's just one of those things that you're tuning in. This is supposed to be for children. I don't care. I think it looks great. I'm excited for Pride already. We're talking about the Trans March, and we're talking about Trans Manitoba in this segment. Charlie is behind it all, and they're joining me now to tell us all about that. So please tell us about their group.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. Trans Manitoba does education, community empowerment, and policy reform in support of the Two-Spirit, transgender, non-binary, and gender diverse Manitobans. And we're so excited to be here, just all over Pride this year.
The march kicks off tomorrow at 10 a.m. Fill us in with all the details.
So tomorrow morning is the Trans March. We start at 10 a.m. for a rally. We have 3 speakers, and then we will march from the legislature to the main stage at Pride so that we can watch the trans performers at the end of the Trans March.
Mm-hmm. And that sounds very vibrant when you talk about performers. Who's on deck?
We're so excited. We have Big Daddy Brushstrokes. We also have Helixer and Bambi Sweet, 3 fantastic trans drag performers to showcase the talent of our community.
Mm-hmm. When it comes to Trans Manitoba and the umbrella of individuals who you help in the broader community, when we say trans, there's a whole group of people who you are helping. Explain for our audience who that entails.
Absolutely. So when we talk about trans and gender diverse folks, we are describing anybody who identifies outside of the binary, outside of their birth assignment, or people who experience gender-based oppression and violence just based on their gender expression, how they look, how they behave, and how folks perceive them. And we're hoping to make Manitoba a better place for people of all genders.
And the unfortunate part of it is that these people do face discrimination. Why is it important to have a specific group to shine a light on all the good things in the community?
The gender diverse community is so broad and encompasses people from identities across the LGBTQIA spectrum, but we do experience very specific forms of discrimination and oppression, and we have very specific forms of joy that we want to share as well. And so we want to share what makes us unique and diverse at Pride this year.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you having this conversation with me, and I hope people that attend these events and take part in the fun.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ainsley. We've all heard about the wonder of AI, but when it makes a mistake, it can do more than just embarrass. It can even sting. CTV's Stéphane Giroux has more.
Bishop Street in Montreal is believed to be named after 19th century Anglican Bishop Francis Fulford, except in Montreal's 747 bus line has been rechristened Bishop, as in a honey store, and it created a negative buzz at the STM.
So yes, we're using AI probably in many places. Probably sometimes we need to have some supervisor in there. In that case, it didn't happen.
The STM says it will rectify the sign, but it couldn't explain why its map wasn't proofread in the first place. Examples of questionable translations abound in the city. Take the street Prince of Wales in NDG. A local contractor made a huge blunder by calling it Prince of Wales.
We don't see any whales or any sea around here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think it's somebody's humor. It's somebody's illiteracy.
Now, the sign might be funny, but for a lot of people, it's also a sign that we're relying way too much on artificial intelligence.
This story is a perfect example of why AI cannot be trusted to fully take over from humans anytime soon. It makes mistakes, it hallucinates, it lies, it confabulates.
An embarrassment, too, for professional translators who are being replaced by AI.
We do check, we do verify the translation. So it's even more than proofreading, because you have to check the terminology, the technical terminology. Is that the right words, the right syntax, the right grammar, everything?
Proof, she says, that humans still have the edge when it comes to common sense. Stéphane Giroux, CTV News.
Let's see, celebrating a milestone today. Happy birthday, Xander. Love Wawa and Papa, Mommy, Daddy, McKinley, Uncle Dwayne, Auntie Kat, Sebastian, Auntie Darcy, Dawson, and Norman. Happy 10th birthday, Hank. Love your family. Happy 12th birthday, Charlie. Love your family. Happy birthday, Isis Ivory, from your family. Happy birthday, Sean. Wishing you a day filled with lots of laughs from your bestie, Tanya and John. Happy 18th birthday, Taylor. Love Mom, Dad, Madison, and Rocky. Happy birthday, Joanne, with love from Mommy and Daddy. Happy 8th birthday to Colton. Love Papa and Granny. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you to our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
It's beautiful out here this morning, 23 degrees on tap. That is exactly normal for this time of year. We didn't quite make it to seasonal temps last year, only getting to a high of 20.5. But back in 1988, ooh, that was a hot one, 36 degrees. We're going to get some heat for the weekend. Not that kind of heat, not record-breaking heat by any means, but it will be warm and above seasonal for the weekend itself. But today, perfectly pleasant. Already out here, the sun is shining and beginning to warm us up. We were at a cooler 10 degrees this morning, although that is a normal low. And now we're sitting at 13 with just a bit of a breeze. That wind out of the north-northwest is 14 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 92%. Plenty of sunshine out here. I am seeing a few more clouds off to the west that might kind of pass on over. It might look a little bit overcast, not quite overcast, but on the cloudier side at times today, but even those clouds will be clearing out of the way, making for a very pleasant evening, especially once we're reaching those temperatures in that seasonal range, 23 degrees, or throughout northern Manitoba, low 20s expected as well, or at least high teens, pleasant across the province, and very little in the way of precipitation for today. That could change tomorrow, southwestern Manitoba. Anybody along that western border could be in for some storms by tomorrow evening that'll continue overnight and into Sunday. We're just going to be feeling the heat tomorrow and into Sunday with those temps in the low 30s.
Thank you, Terry. He's just 12 years old, but he's already a successful business owner in the community of Narol, Manitoba. Grade 6 student Will Tice is too young to have a job, but he wanted a new dirt bike, so he decided to launch his own business to raise money to buy one. The business is called Goodbye Grime, and Will started it almost a year ago. The endeavor is a success. And joining us now is the 12-year-old owner of the business, Goodbye Grime, Will Tice, and his mom, Jennifer. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Will, congratulations on this business. Tell us how all of this became possible for you.
What made it possible? Having a trailer and like my dad could drive me around and stuff, so that helped a lot.
Yeah, and you love the outdoors, right? So you wanted a dirt bike?
Yeah.
Okay, so where did you get this idea, and tell us about your business and what it is exactly.
I saw a sign when we were in Edmonton of someone doing this, and then I thought it was a really good idea, so then I decided to do it too.
Okay, so what is it? What is it you do exactly?
So explain the whole thing. Like, what you do. Oh, I clean the bins, and then well, first we pick them up on a trailer, and then we bring them to our house, and then I clean them all, and then we load them back up and take them all back the same night.
Okay, so these are recycling bins, garbage bins. They get a buildup of gross stuff at the bottom, I guess, right? Is that what happens?
Yeah, they do. They're pretty disgusting sometimes.
And so then you have a pressure washer and you clean it all up?
Yep.
And what do customers say when you have cleaned up their garbage or recycling bins?
A lot of thank yous and it was a smart idea and that stuff.
That is great. Jennifer, did you think that your son was capable of coming up with his own business model like this?
It's pretty impressive. He started off, he went and walked over to one of our neighbors' houses one evening, just knocked on their door and said, "Can I clean your bins?" And when they said yes, it was like it opened up this whole world for him. How can I service other people, and how can I make this bigger and better? And it took off from there. People have been amazing. He has had so many customers. People are asking him to come to all different parts of the city. And he's having to actually limit how much he does because it's really wonderful. People are so supportive. It's great.
And it's successful. You ended up getting a dirt bike, Will.
Yeah, I did.
And what was that like for you, knowing that you paid for that dirt bike with the hard-earned money that you made on your own?
I like buying it with my own money, and it's just super exciting.
So what comes next for you, Will? What happens now? You've expanded to different communities, right? Where are you exactly?
Where are we?
So we do kind of all the north area of Winnipeg. He does East St. Paul, he does North Kildonan, Transcona area. And if he has enough houses in an area, he can go further, but he needs about 8 customers like on the same street kind of thing to make it worth it. So he's got to be smart about his business model. But right now it's kind of the northeast part of Winnipeg.
Busy guy. Your summers must be just so busy. And you're making some serious cash, right?
Sorry, what?
You're making some serious cash.
Yeah, it makes quite a bit.
Well, good for you, and congratulations. Thank you to both of you for spending some time with us this morning, and good luck with the business, Will.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello there, Kara Waglin inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And forward we head to Paris, where we have a front-runner for Cinderella Story of the Year. It's Maya Halinska. She's ranked outside the top 100 in the world, but not for long. She had to qualify for the main draw at Roland Garros, and this is match point in the semifinal. An amazing shot, an unbelievable reaction. She's the second player in history to reach a Grand Slam final as a qualifier. She has such a long shot that she had to tell her hotel in Paris that she could only pay for her room once the tournament is over, and she actually got a paycheck. Somehow that hotel room is going to get paid for. And coming up today on TSN, we have your men's semifinals from Roland Garros. None of the 4 remaining men have won a Grand Slam, so right now that field is wide open. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
The TSN must-see moment is brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, featuring Hunter Douglas products.
Here's a look outside right now at the Provencher Bridge. It looks like a gorgeous start to your day, and the traffic is moving quite well in this part of the city as well. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with your 8 o'clock headlines. It's Friday, June the 5th. Data dumped why a massive server complex planned for a plot just southeast of Winnipeg may not have what it takes to overcome multi-pronged opposition. Fueling confidence in ongoing supplies, the EU and European airlines say they'll have enough to keep operating over the summer. But rising costs may still mean service cuts. And comical comb-over. This albino buffalo shares a hairstyle and now a name with a well-known and polarizing public figure. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It's 8 o'clock on your Friday. Thank you for still.
You know it's going to be a good hour if that story is coming
exactly.
up.
And we have a lot in the next hour, including Kuzma Review. We had a delegate of Manitobans that went to the U.S. to talk about why we should be partners with the U.S. We're going to find out a little bit more about how it went, and the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, Chuck, will join us to tell us a little bit more about what is going on and some of the surprises that happened the day after they came back. And then at 8:27, the Manitoba Pet Expo is happening on Sunday, so we're going to have some pets coming in right here in studio. But
will they have comb-overs?
They might. We'll see.
We'll see if the wind messes up your hair on a day like today. Actually, it's just a light breeze, so you're probably going to be okay. It's 13 degrees outside right now with plenty of sunshine to kick us off. North-northwest winds, they're only 14 kilometers per hour, so your hairdo should stay intact. Pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 92%. It's been so pleasant out there this morning. Fair bit of sunshine over us. We're seeing just a few clouds kind of starting to roll in. More than clouds, in fact, there's a little bit of precipitation. Now, any precipitation today is likely to be just along those most southern borders for the most part, maybe a little bit into parts of east central Manitoba. There you can see what I'm talking about, but even that tapering off and eventually clearing out. In fact, most of us will even see these clouds moving on out, and by evening time, fairly clear conditions. The sun, by the way, doesn't set until 9:32, so this is 8 p.m. tonight, and you can see it's cleared out very nicely, and pleasant temperatures expected. Seasonal temperatures for today, but it is about to get hot. My goodness, the weekend temperatures will be on the rise, and with those hot temperatures comes the potential for some storms. 8 p.m. and we're looking at some perhaps very active, possibly severe thunderstorms that could be rolling through west central Manitoba, southwestern Manitoba. Look at this overnight Sunday. Good luck sleeping through that. That could be pretty wicked. We're not likely to see much of that through the weekend itself. We will be feeling the heat, but next week we could get a little bit of that activity off and on throughout the week with these temperatures either sitting in the seasonal or above range. Alexander, thank you very much for sharing your art with us today. This is super cool, and I'd love to see more of whatever it is you're working on, so send those pictures through our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and when you do, you're entered to win a $100 gift card from Crockadoodle on Keniston.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by Crockadoodle. Spend quality time with loved ones and paint memories together.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew is saying no to a proposal to build a giant data center southeast of Winnipeg.
If we could do 100 Selkirk steel mills or a data center, which one is going to create more long-term benefits? Which one is going to create more happiness? Which one's going to create more jobs?
Premier Kinew says the center's potential economic benefit isn't worth the risk to the environment. He also pointed to power consumption and the size of the center as reasons behind his rejection. There are purchase agreements secured for 141 hectares of land. The companies behind the project are from BC and the U.S. They now say they will review the Premier's comments and look forward to a robust engagement process. Meanwhile, the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce says the province needs to set clear parameters around what is an acceptable size for a data center.
We know that this is not going away, that there's going to be other projects that are going to be looking at Manitoba as a potential, and I think what we don't want to be doing is driving away investment.
The Premier says there is room for data centers in Manitoba, pointing out we already have them, and he predicts there will be more. The European Union says it's not concerned about jet fuel supply entering the summer travel season.
There's currently not jet fuel shortage in Europe, and we have no signs that we will have a shortage in the coming period.
However, the current high price of jet fuel brought on by the U.S. and Israel's war in Iran are causing operators to cut routes that aren't making them a ton of money. Disruptions to shipping in the Strait of Hormuz over the past 3 months has cut oil supplies by about 14 million barrels per day. That's about 14% of global demand. The EU has weathered this storm so far, as the Middle East accounts for about 20% of its jet fuel imports. U.S. and Nigerian supplies are largely filling that gap. If there's any concerns, it's the cost. Jet fuel amounts for 25 to 30% of airline operating costs. We have an update this morning on that bear that hurt 4 people in Japan has escaped capture. How? By opening a factory window. The bear was stuck inside an electronics factory since Tuesday. Officials say its trail suggests it got through the window after opening its latch. The bear was also seen turning on a tap to drink water. There was an attempt to tranquilize the bear with a dart, but that didn't work. The bear also ate the bait set in food traps without getting caught. A buffalo is drawing visitors to a Bangladesh zoo because of its uncanny resemblance to, you guessed it, U.S. President Donald Trump. This rare albino buffalo is now named Donald Trump after a farmer noticed he shared a hairstyle with the commander-in-chief. He's since become a viral sensation and was spared from slaughter to instead take up residence at the Bangladesh National Zoo. Large crowds have been braving the sweltering heat to see him, and he stayed awake. Here's a look at the current traffic situation now on Keniston and Sterling Lion Way. Things have really picked up in this part of the city, as you can see, and moving quite well overall. If you encounter any problems, please let us know.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Let's go back now to the Forks with our Ainsley McPhail. It's a beautiful day to be at the Forks, and there's so much going on there this weekend. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi, I even see a Bahag Hari, which means rainbow. I was really practicing my pronunciation there. I actually don't see a rainbow. But again, I wanted to get the group's name right. I am so pleased to be joined by Diet and Jay to tell us all about this fantastic group. You will see them in the parade coming up on Sunday. We'll start with you, Diet. What is this group all about?
So first of all, we are the Bahag Hari Pride Manitoba. So you are right, Bahag Hari means rainbow, and Bahag Hari is a Tagalog Filipino term. What we're doing, the group is for the 2S LGBTQI+ Filipino community here in Manitoba.
Oh, please go on.
Yeah, so basically what we do is we create and provide a safe space for our community because there's not a lot of space for for the Filipino to us LGBTQI plus community and the feeling of belongingness. I think that's the goal. There's a lot of organization even with the Filipino community to join for, but it's different, right? It's different when you are in a very specific group that share the similar identity, share the similar vibes, and energy. So yeah, I think for me that's what's our organization goal.
And is that what you resonate with as well, having that similar identity? For you, what does that mean?
Yeah, totally. As a gay Filipino person, I think Baghari has provided a safe space for people like me, like-minded individuals who want to uplift marginalized Filipino voices in the 2S LGBTQ plus community. So it really means a lot to me. I've been here for like almost a year now, and I've had like lots of great experiences, and I've met so many amazing people.
And if you identify with this group as well, you're watching at the right time. You can reach out to them. We'll have a link below and a link on our website.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. If you're flying overseas this summer, you should expect delays and possibly long lines at airports. CTV's Pat Foran has more.
Europe is a favorite destination for travel, and this summer will be even busier than usual. Bookings to Italy, Ireland, Greece, Switzerland, and Spain are all up substantially over last year. A video of the Lisbon airport in Portugal a week ago went viral when it showed lineups that were hours long.
It is quite honestly astonishing and testimony to just what a disaster these new EES rules are.
Canadians shouldn't be worried. They should be prepared.
Flight Centre is trying to warn Canadians that because of the new entry-exit system in Europe, they may face delays.
They will now have their fingerprints and photos taken digitally, and it essentially will replace the old passport stamp that we're used to on our passports.
Travel experts say if you're flying in or out of European destinations, you'll need to budget hours of extra time at airports.
It's always crazy during this time of year, but then you add in that new entry-exit system and gathering all of those new biometrics, and it is just taking people a lot longer.
And it's not just flying, it's any mode of transportation in or out of Europe.
It's affecting all border crossings in any form, whether it's by cruise ship or by land or by airport.
Recommendations if you're traveling to Europe: arrive much earlier, especially for intra-Europe flights. Keep passports and travel documents easily accessible. Monitor airline apps for updates. Consider flexible fares where possible, and register with Canada's Registration of Canadians Abroad Service. While the new system is expected to make travel faster in the future, for now there will be growing pains as the system rolls out.
I would be making sure that I build in some extra time at any of those European airports.
Experts say don't let the Lisbon airport video worry you too much, as it's known to have some of the longest lineups of any European airports, and others should be much better. Pat Foran, CTV News.
It's a beautiful start to your morning as we look now through the CTV Live Eye, brought to you by Bathfitter, exclusive home of the PermaFit solution. It's been a beautiful morning. We're starting to see a few extra clouds now, but still enough sun to be able to shine through that it just keeps warming us up. Thank goodness for that, right? 15 degrees. That's where we're sitting now in Winnipeg, seeing fairly similar temperatures all throughout southern Manitoba. 13 in Brandon, Dauphin, in Gimli right now. 12 for Fisher Branch, Swan River through that more central stretch up into the Paw. Island Lake still sitting at a slightly cooler 9 degrees. You've also got some heavier clouds hanging over you. Where it's clearer and sunnier, those temps on the rise. So 13 in Thompson, 14 in Lynn Lake. Beautiful start to your morning. Now, we'll see plenty of sunshine off and on through the day. We might have these heavier clouds just kind of moving in briefly, but then clearing out again. And temperatures, they'll just continue to heat up for us. Not drastically so, but but pleasantly so. 17 degrees as kids get into the classroom through the lunch hour, 20 degrees, and up to a seasonal 23 degrees by the time they're coming home. Yes, 23 is a normal daytime high, and that's how we'll finish off the work week with some sunshine, or a little more sunshine, especially later on into the afternoon and evening. A lot more sunshine for the weekend, and that's when the heat is really going to get turned up. So low 30s Saturday, Sunday. Southwestern Manitoba could begin to see some possibly severe storms by Saturday, continuing overnight into Sunday. We could get that storm activity lingering into the start of next week, off and on with these mid to high 20 temperatures throughout the week. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
A Manitoba delegation of trade representatives met with their U.S. trade counterparts earlier this week to promote Manitoba as a reliable partner. The 6-person mission included reps from the Manitoba Port Council, Keystone Agricultural Producers, and the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, just to name a few. And joining us now from the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce is Chuck Davison. Good morning, Chuck.
Good morning, Rochelle.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Now, you have just come back.
Yep.
When you went out there, this is the first time a Manitoba delegation went out there to talk business and trade with the U.S. So how did the overall sense go? How was the experience?
Yeah, look, so I think the situation, what we were really trying to focus on is that positive relationship and making them at least be aware where Manitoba is and on the map and the importance of that relationship that has been long-standing. And so we highlighted things like the size of the relationship. So we've talked about this before. $18 billion worth of goods from Manitoba companies is exported into the United States on an annual basis. We also import close to $23 billion. So 72% of all exports that come out of our province are going into the United States. That has adjusted over the course of the last 18 months as a result of the tariffs. But what we really wanted to focus on is this has been a long-standing, stable relationship that's worked well for both countries. And that's something we wanted to really focus on with them. We heard clearly in terms of some of the challenges that they see, some irritants in regards to the relationship currently that exists between Canada, the U.S., and Manitoba. They focused on things like the booze ban that's in place. They focused on things like, agriculture products. They focused on the Chinese EVs and things like that. But those are things that I think are minor in the whole grand scheme of things that can be discussed, things that can potentially be solved. And so I think all in all, I think the relationship was very clear. I'm optimistic, in fact, in terms that there will be a resolution to this situation. Hopefully the sooner the better, because it will provide the businesses with that credibility and with that certainty that they're looking for moving forward, which has sadly been missing for the better part of the last 18 months.
A lot of those irritants that they talk about only happened after they put in tariffs in the first place.
Yeah, that wasn't something that they really wanted to take credit for, that it was sort of a one-way street, and that there was a bit of a response as to why those things took place. Again, so it was less about the politics and it was less about the political speak that you continually hear coming from, leadership and political leaders in the United States. It was more in terms of about, well, here's the reality of what the situation currently looks like, which is why I'm a little bit more optimistic about what that looks like, because what we're really dealing with is, the individual, Jameson Greer, who's leading the trade talks for the United States, it was his staff that we were meeting with and having these conversations. So there's a real sense in terms of, without the politicians in the room, okay, here's where they see things going.
And we have our Richard Madden is our representation living out there and trying to barter every single day. Did you get the overall sense that he has a little bit of leverage there?
Yeah, so this was really the important message that we really wanted to have as well, and something the business community has been asking for the last number of years is to have that representation in Washington, so that when issues arise, and so there is a Manitoba voice. And so Richard did a great job in terms of organizing us and setting up the meetings for us as well to participate there. And as we kind of mentioned, this is the first time there's really been a Manitoba delegation of any size that's participated in Washington and taken that Manitoba message to their nation's capital. So I think it was extremely important. We saw the importance of relationships. We saw the number of staff that other provinces already have in the Canadian Embassy as well. So it really bodes well that we do have that office here, especially at a time like this when we want to make sure that Manitoba's interests are going to be looked after.
But then after all these meetings, suddenly on Wednesday, the U.S. administration announced a new 10% tariff on many countries, including Canada. Was that a little bit of a surprise to you?
Yeah, it's always a bit of a surprise, because you don't see these things coming, and there was no sort of conversation in terms of, oh, by the way, we're going to be looking at this. But that's been pretty much standard fare from what this relationship has been over the course of these last 18 months, is that constant influx in terms of what the policy is going to be and how business is going to react to it. And again, so part of what we've said as well is that the United States is always going to be a big trading partner for Canada, but at the same time, we can't be as overly reliant as we have been on it. And so we've been looking obviously at other markets. We've been looking at reducing interprovincial trade barriers so that we can do more trade with other provinces across Canada and start looking at some of those new markets. That's starting to happen, but it takes time. It's not the kind of thing that happens overnight. And so, over the course of the past, over the past 3 months, there's been representatives from countries all over the world that have been coming to Manitoba, knocking on doors, trying to develop some of those relationships, and I think some of those are going to start coming to fruition, like we saw with the potential opening of an office in India that's going to be happening soon as well.
So very exciting for Manitoba. Eventually we will switch gears, maybe make a deal with the U.S. and make other deals as well.
That's exactly the plan.
Okay, Chuck, thank you for sharing this information with us.
Always a pleasure.
If you want more information, of course, we have a link on our website.
So earlier this morning, I was standing out here blinded by the sun, loving up every moment of it. But I mean, it was incredibly bright. That's no longer the case. I wouldn't call this overcast, but it is definitely mainly cloudy. Just a few peaks of sunshine here or there. But yes, the clouds have moved in. They're not going to stay. We'll watch them move on out again. But momentarily, it is cloudy. 15 degrees is where we're sitting right now. So it is still getting warmer, even despite the fact that the sun has taken a little bit of a break behind those clouds. North-northwest winds are 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling. Humidity at 86%. That humidity has been dropping steadily over the course of the morning, so it's feeling a little more pleasant. First thing this morning, it was at 100%. But we also had some pretty cool temperatures this morning, or seasonal, but it's been a while since it's been as cool as that. 10 degrees is where we began the day. We're already now at 15. We'll continue to make some gains to a very seasonal high of around 23 degrees. And yes, we have some heavier clouds hanging over us for now, but that will be clearing out nicely, especially into the late afternoon and evening. Mainly sunny conditions and getting up to that seasonal 23, which in the sunshine will be pleasant, warm, but it's going to get hot this weekend, up into the low 30s. Southwestern Manitoba, west central Manitoba could be in for some severe thunderstorms for tomorrow. That'll continue overnight, very, very active, and right into Sunday morning. A lot of that will probably miss us through the weekend, but very likely we'll be getting clipped with some storms, and we'll see that action into the start of next week. There's a little rooster, the dog, out for a walk yesterday morning. You remember how beautiful it was? Look at that, in St. Norbert, the way the sun glows through those trees. Just calling Rooster along. Thanks to Henry for sharing the photo. Keep them coming to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca.
Weather is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau. Research at bbb.org before you buy.
If you have a pet you love to spoil, you can find everything you need to make your fur baby happy all under one roof this weekend. Manitoba's largest and longest running pet expo is happening Sunday in St. Norbert, and it'll have more than 85 pet products, professionals, and services set up at kiosks throughout. And money raised at the event helps support some local animal rescues. Joining us now, you're looking at him. This is Cletus, 6-month-old Cletus, working away on that bone. And we have the organizer of the Manitoba Pet Expos, Jessica Klim, and Amanda Shepner from the Manitoba Great Pyrenees Rescue. Good morning to all three of you.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Tell us about this Pet Expo. It's pretty huge.
Yeah, so it's the largest running Manitoba Pet Expo in Manitoba. We've been going since 2011. We've had a few different venues, but we keep growing every year. We have over 85 exhibitors that will be on site this coming Sunday.
Okay, so we got to talk about Cletus. Cletus is 6 months old, Great Pyrenees dog, beautiful color. Tell us a little bit about him.
So Cletus came in from up north as an unclaimed stray, and he's been with Manitoba Great Pyrenees Rescue for about a month now. Okay. And he's available for adoption. He will actually be at the expo at the Manitoba Great Pyrenees table from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday.
And tell us a little bit about his personality. What's up with this guy?
Oh, he's a pretty calm guy. He loves to play though, and he's great with kids and other animals. And he's a big snuggle bug. He loves to cuddle in your lap. So
I love that so much. And such a good dog. Wants to be on TV, obviously, doing really well. Let's talk.
gnawing away.
Let's talk about the actual Pet Expo. It's a great opportunity for people to see all the latest gadgets for all kinds of animals, right?
Yeah, so we have many exhibitors that are there for the first time. So we have somebody that's selling pet and tick repellent that's all natural. We have our sponsors there, so we have the Dumble Dogs, Global Pet Food, St. Vitel's going to be there. They'll be giving out all the newest treats and toys and all kinds of things that you can get. Yeah, we're just looking forward to having everybody come out and celebrate their pets.
And Cletus obviously will be there.
Oh,
so many other dogs will be there, but there's all kinds of animals that you can adopt as well.
Yes, so there's going to be a few cat rescues, including Rescue Siamese and Craig Street cats. There'll be the ferret rescue. We will have somebody who's also going to be with the Wild Willow Ranch and Rescue, so they're going to have some mini horses there as well.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot to see and do.
Okay, and then the expo is organized by the Boston Terrier and Pug Rescue of Southern Manitoba. Tell us about those rescues and how this expo really supports them.
So the Boston Terrier Pug Rescue was founded in 2009. This fundraiser was actually replacing the Great Manitoba Dog Party, which stopped in 2010. So we wanted to find a way to help the community come together, celebrate their animals, but also make it a fundraiser for the rescue. So that money that we raise for the rescue goes towards all of the surgeries that we have for the dogs in our care. Boston Terriers and Pugs are not cheap breeds to own. They require a lot of sometimes knee surgeries, nares and palate surgery to help their breathing, and lots of them need dental cleaning, so those aren't cheap.
No kidding. Okay, anything else you want people to know about the expo and why they should check it out?
I think everybody should come down. It's a family-friendly event. There's lots to see and do. You won't be disappointed.
And you'll definitely find some animal to pet and play with.
There'll be so many.
That is so fun. Okay, well, the Manitoba Pet Expo is happening Sunday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the St. Norbert Community Center. If you like what you're seeing, Cletus is available for adoption. Beautiful dog, beautiful face. If you want more information, we have a link on our website. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Cletus.
Take care.
Cletus doesn't care. He's busy. Here's a look outside now on Donald Street. Things are moving really, really well over here. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
A nice start to your Friday morning. An hour ago, I was saying it's a beautiful start to your Friday morning, and that's because the sun was shining so bright. A few more clouds have moved in since then. They're going to clear on out of the way, so we're just taking a moment in more shady, cloudy space, but still the temperatures are on the rise, sitting at 15 degrees now with a north-northwest wind, 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 86%. I just happen to love up that sunshine so much that when it's glowing down on me, those are my favorite moments. Well, here you can see in southwestern Manitoba, just beginning to pass on through, you might see just a little bit of brief shower activity. And in fact, anybody right along that most southern border, the possibility is there, or here through parts of east central Manitoba. But for the most part, it's going to be clear, dry, just a few clouds, but even those clouds will continue to move on out, especially later on into the afternoon and evening. And temperatures will still be on the rise to seasonal values. We'll take it. 23 degrees on tap today. That is bang on normal for this time of year. It will come with a bit of a breeze out of the northwest, about 15 kilometers per hour. From there, we drop down to about 13 degrees overnight. Just a few clouds lingering tonight. Those winds beginning to shift. For tomorrow, it's going to get hot. So brace yourself. Love up today if you're not somebody that loves the heat. I do, so I can't wait for this. 30 degrees expected Saturday. Could be even hotter by Sunday, 32. Now, I do want to say that while southeastern Manitoba will probably be in the clear for the next couple of days, southwestern Manitoba could be in for very active weather. I'm talking intense storms, like intense storms. So Saturday night into Sunday, that's when things will be pretty wild through the southwest with that storm action. And then we could start to see a little bit of that into the start of next week, off and on. Low 30s for the weekend. Next week, mid to high 20s expected.
Thank you, Terry. RCMP in Thompson are asking for your help to locate a 23-year-old woman missing for just over a week. Mounties say Gracelyn Spence was last seen on May 28th at around 4 in the morning at a home on Teal Avenue. They add, despite extensive patrols throughout Thompson and several address checks, they have not been able to locate her. Police are concerned for her well-being. Spence is 5 feet 7 inches tall with a medium build and brown hair. She was last seen wearing black sweatpants and a blue top. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Gracelyn Spence is asked to call Thompson RCMP at 204-677-6909 or Crime Stoppers. The construction and infrastructure company Aecon says it has signed an agreement with Arctic Gateway Group to support infrastructure in northern Manitoba. The memorandum of understanding says they will work together on the development of the Port of Churchill and Hudson Bay Railway. The port and railway are operated by Arctic Gateway, which is Indigenous and community owned. Upgrading the Port of Churchill was among several projects shortlisted last year by the federal government as transformative projects. A Winnipeg-born player was the overtime hero in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final last night. Seth Jarvis of the Carolina Hurricanes notched the overtime winner as the Canes evened up the series with a 4-3 win. Jarvis scored the winner on the power play at 3:56 of the extra frame, blasting a one-timer past Carter Hart with Thomas Hertl in the box for tripping. It was the fourth of the postseason for Jarvis, who had not scored since Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final against the Montreal Canadiens. Game 3 goes tomorrow night in Vegas. The federal government has unveiled its long-promised plan for the future of artificial intelligence in this country. The plan is called AI for All, and as the name intimates, it aims to do just that, covering everything from job creation to kids' safety. But some are not convinced the plan can really do all that. CTV's Mike Le Couture has more.
This is an AI-driven product. Artificial intelligence is becoming the norm in a growing number of products and places. It's why the federal government released its strategy to harness the technology while also placing safeguards around it.
That's AI governed by Canadian values. AI that is accountable to Canadians.
The broad goals of the plan are to boost AI use in businesses from 12% today to 60% by the year 2034, to build a world-leading supercomputer in order to increase Canada's sovereign infrastructure in 5 years, and to give all Canadians access to free AI literacy training.
The government will introduce new legislation, regulations and standards to protect your data, your privacy, your children.
So far, there are no timelines for those safeguards. Experts are also concerned about maintaining our digital sovereignty through Canadian-owned and managed data centers and clouds. And some say the government needs to think bigger than this current plan.
850 megawatts, right? That was the proposed scale by 2030 of the sovereign kind of infrastructure build they're looking at. That's less than 1/50th of what the private sector in the United States is expected to have online in 2 years.
While the federal government wants to build big data centers, Manitoba just denied a project that would have been the size of 260 football fields.
I think we should be skeptical about the hyperscale data centers that are being pitched in a lot of jurisdictions, just from an economic perspective.
There's also a broader concern over how AI could affect jobs in this country.
We know that AI targets those jobs, particularly of young people, the ones that are getting into the market. So we've got to make sure that we give them the tools required to overcome that.
Minister of Artificial Intelligence Evan Solomon pointed to a Bank of Canada study on the impact of AI, underlining it hadn't seen any significant impact on job losses yet. But the bank also notes that could change once AI use accelerates across this country.
Here's a look outside now at Main and Broadway. Things are moving well this Friday morning. We have no issues in traffic to tell you about at this point. Here's a look at your gas prices. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.58. It's lower than it was yesterday. And the lowest price in the city is $1.49. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
It's time now for your answers to our question of the day. Today is National Donut Day, so we wanted to know, what's your favorite donut? Susan loves the sour cream. Janet likes walnut crunch, cherry stick, and Ghostbusters. For Jason, it's Boston cream and honey dip. Anne's favorite is apple fritter. Kathy says, I'm with Gabby, sour cream glazed. Cheryl likes jam buster or any donut with a lemon filling. Amanda shared, I'm not a huge donut fan, but if I had to reach for one, it would be the cruller. So good, melts in your mouth. Brenda's favorite donut is Boston cream. Unctie's favorite donut is apple fritter or a Long John. Phoebe likes honey dip Timbits, and Felicity likes Oreo. Duets from Krispy Kreme. Marlene's favorite donut is chocolate dip. Val likes Timmy's Bismarck. And Lil says, I can never say no to a honey cruller. Thank you so much for your responses.
Question of the day, brought to you by Provivo, Manitoba's #1 cool sculpting clinic, science-backed body contouring.
let's go back now to Ainsley, who's live at the Forks this morning. We're talking about Pride, which of course is on right now. It's Pride Month, but it's the Pride Parade on Sunday. Hi, Ainsley.
Hi. Okay, I know we were just talking about donuts, and it's a weird coincidence that my favorite is rainbow sprinkle just in time for Pride. So, I don't know, just a great thought. Ray Gunn is joining me now. We're talking about the parade, of course, that Rochelle just referenced, but all of the new things that are happening for Pride, because I feel like you guys are so advanced when it comes to making changes, adjusting changes, and all of that stuff. So, first, Ray, thank you for being here, and tell me about the Manitoba Pride Alliance.
Oh, yes, we are definitely trying to get ahead of the game on a lot of things. Manitoba Pride Alliance. So we are sort of an umbrella organization that helps fund out the Pride events that are happening across Manitoba, from the tippy top of like Churchill all the way down to the border, and then both sides from Ontario all the way to Saskatchewan. Right now we have about 36 prides across Manitoba. Currently, we also have an initiative where we are sending out sparkle buses to those rural prides, and we need bodies to fill those seats. So on our Instagram, there's a link in our bio to purchase seats for June 13th off to Winkler, June 14th off to Selkirk, or June 27th off to Portage la Prairie.
And we want to make this happen, so we're calling out to the people watching.
We do, absolutely. Rural communities have a really hard time with hate and erasure in their communities for anybody who is openly queer or trans, or and they need strength in numbers. So if you can spare the time to come out, come on out. So we've got plenty of donation seats as well too. So if you want to come but can't afford to, reach out to me, rgun@pridewinnipeg.com, and we'll get you a seat.
It's all about making an inclusive space, and within that is accessibility. What is being done in terms of that?
So we're always trying to get as much accessibility as we possibly can. There's always going to be access friction, and that's when somebody's accessibility needs overlaps with somebody else's, and so they kind of mishmash against each other. But we have the Quiet Zone inside CMHR. We have AAC sheets available at both merch tents and the info booth. We have Braille. We have described audio at the main stage as well as at the parade. And then we have the described audio and accessible viewing area inside Canada Life Centre for the parade this year. And we also have a shuttle that'll take folks just around the outside of the festival. So if you're not able to walk that far, hop on the golf cart shuttle and it'll take you around the parade site.
Very thoughtful. Thank you so much. CTV is going to be in that parade. See you then.
Thank you, Ainsley. And it's going to be a hot one, so you're going to want to make sure you're covered up, slathered up with SPF, as well as wearing a hat and drink lots of water.
Yeah, absolutely. A head covering, great idea. Hat, umbrella, something that's going to, stop the sun from beating right down on you. But you're right, staying hydrated will be absolutely key, because it is going to be hot all weekend long, beginning tomorrow, but continuing right into Sunday. Sunday, in fact, could be even hotter than Saturday. Right now, not hot. In fact, it's cool feeling. And I say that because a couple hours back when the sun was shining, I was like, oh, this is going to feel warm. And it did when the sun was out. But that's no longer the case with some heavier clouds that have just moved in. 15 degrees, so we've actually continued to warm up. It just doesn't feel quite as warm. That's the difference that the sun can make this time of year. 21K winds out of the north-northwest. The pressure falling, the humidity sitting at 86%. But these extra clouds, they aren't sticking around all day long. They'll be clearing out later on into the afternoon or evening time. And a beautiful night ahead. 23 degrees is where we're headed today. That is perfectly normal for this time of year. But I mentioned the heat for the weekend, and yes, it's coming in a very big way. So for Saturday and Sunday, temperatures will be climbing up into those low 30s. Now, Saturday, anyone through that southwestern or west central stretch, you will very much be in the path of some possibly severe thunderstorms. That activity will begin late afternoon, evening time, continuing overnight into Sunday, and things could be a little bit busy for you with those storms coming your way this weekend. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather is brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful. Our new Hunter Douglas showroom is at 900 Lorimer.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
If you've ever thought the pirate life might be right for you, an Ontario company is offering the chance to make that dream a reality. The swashbuckling tour business is up for sale, including several pirate ships. CTV's Sean Leathong on what's up for grabs.
The Jolly Roger flies above. There are cannons along the side,
And it comes with
real pirate gold.
This pirate ship can all be yours for a price that is not quite clear.
I can't publish that information, but it's a few gold doubloons will get you there.
What's really for sale is the business called Pirate Life, offering a 1-hour experience for kids searching for treasure around the Toronto harbor during the day and an escape room in the evenings.
We've got a full-time staff that manage the operations, that are here every day.
There are 4 total ships located here in Toronto, Hamilton, and Ottawa, all with leases, licenses, and permits.
Welcome aboard the Grey Ghost, matey.
Owen McGowan is one of the actors working on the ship anchored at Mooney's Bay in Ottawa.
It's adventure. It's truly, in its purest form, just fun.
It's the smiles of the kids. You stand on board and you look at them and you go, "Aye, matey, I'm a real pirate," and they believe you. And when you open that treasure chest at the end and there's a gold coin on the inside, their eyes are as wide as they can be with joy.
The 24 cannons along the side are working, giving kids a chance to protect their treasure.
We have a villain character who is in a small boat and circles the ship trying to steal our treasure. And no one likes it when someone's trying to steal your treasure.
Owner Matt Slayman worked to build these ships custom, starting in Toronto in 2014. They've been in Ottawa for almost 20 years. He says the turnkey operation is perfect for someone looking to own a business.
This is the way to get unchained from your day job. Imagine being out here underneath the sunshine from May to October, running your own company, captaining your own ship, as it were.
So if you have some of these lying around, this might be your sign that a pirate life is for you. Sean Leithong, CTV News.
An almost week-long festival celebrating Eastern European Jewish traditions is back. The Put a Yid on It Festival of New Yiddish Culture starts Sunday, and it will include music, dance, films, and food. And joining us now to tell us more about the festival is Shira Newman and baker Harriet Seidman. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, tell us a little bit about this festival, Shira. It's been around for a while now. Tell us about the culture behind it and why it's important to celebrate.
For sure. So this is our 3rd year of this festival, and it's been great. It's been kind of growing each year, which has been lovely. So Yiddish is a language that was spoken by most Eastern European Jews up until the Holocaust. And so it was once spoken by up to 11 million people, and now it's spoken by about 1 million people in the world, mostly Hasidic Jews. Okay. But there's a reclaiming of the culture by a lot of younger people who don't want to lose connection to both the language, but also the whole cultural milieu of the language. So the food and the art and the humor and the everything around that. So the festival really celebrates that.
And sort of trying to bring it back in a big way as well. And more and more youth are celebrating it. And so tell us what's going on for the festival. There's so many different things happening, right?
Yeah, for sure. So this year we've really focused on kind of experiential things. Yeah. So Harriet is, for example, going to be doing this traditional knish making. We have somebody from CLES Canada, the artistic director of CLES Canada, coming in to teach dance workshops. Okay. So you can learn traditional Yiddish dance and party with it. Yeah. And then we have movies. We have 2 great films coming up. One that's more traditional, more historic from the 30s, and one that's from Brooklyn from the 2000s.
Cool. Okay.
And then we have 2 great concerts. One is called Yiddish Tango with a band called Peadora, and they're going to be kind of exploring how Eastern European Jewish culture really influenced tango in Argentina. It was a very active cultural milieu of many different cultures that kind of came together to create the sound of tango. So they're going to be
neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so Harriet, we got to talk about what you're doing. You're stretching this dough. You told me before this segment that the goal is to stretch it to almost the entire table, right?
It will. If you just keep nudging it, and mostly with the back of your hands, you just oil your hands and don't wear jewelry, and just keep nudging it. You just keep seeing how it stretches. And what you've done is you've made it. You've sort of kneaded it really hard, and you chill it so that the glutens develop properly, and then it works. And if I had time, this started out as a square, and it would be down here and draping over the table.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
So tell us about the tradition of knish growing up for you.
Well, my mother made cheese knishes, but my baba, my grandmother, made potato and kasha knishes. She put anything into knishes. She would grind up leftover chicken and fry up some onions and put it in, or peas, ground peas with poppy seeds was something that she made once for us, and they were all delicious. Every one of them was delicious, and it was with a stretch dough. And as a kid, I watched her. I was sort of frightened to attempt stretch dough because I watched her once start with a knob of this big, and the entire you could see the table through it when she was
so cool.
done. So
and you're going to be offering workshops like this. People can learn from you firsthand and maybe even play with some dough as well. Well, thank you so much. If you want more information on the festival and some of the workshops and some of the activities, we have a link on our website. Thanks, you two.
Thank you so much.
I can see the table through your dough. She taught you very well. You've done a great job over there. All right, 15 degrees right now. A few extra clouds. You can see them hanging over the city. The breeze on the moderate side out of the north-northwest, 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 86%. That humidity has been dropping over the course of the morning, just making it feel more and more pleasant. The heavier clouds that have moved in, making it feel slightly less pleasant, but they're not going to stick around long. They'll be clearing out again. That sunshine will be back. So overall, it is going to be a beautiful day with seasonal temperatures on tap. 23 degrees, that's normal for this time of year. And then tomorrow, we will be feeling the heat, not just tomorrow, all weekend long. Now, I'll remind you again that southwestern and west central Manitoba could be in for very active weather tomorrow night. The possibility of severe thunderstorms, damaging winds, hail, all of the stuff that goes along with that. So for tomorrow night, overnight into Sunday, that's what's happening off to the west of us. We could see those storms moving into the start of next week. Low 30s throughout the weekend. It eases somewhat. Next week will be in the mid to high 20s, pretty much as far as we can see. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
That does it for our Friday show, but before we go, we're going to kick things off with a talented 10-year-old. Wow, Leonardo Patrick is channeling the Beatles with this cover of the song Blackbird. This gifted guy has garnered quite the following on Instagram with 1 million people watching his music videos. He's got quite the range and plays songs from Nirvana to Radiohead to Metallica to Ed Sheeran, to name a few. Incredible.
Just chewing on a pick. Too cool for school, just like it's nothing. Love it. Oh my goodness.
Just
and then he starts picking. Okay,
give him
kid.
10 years. Wow. Now from a gifted guitarist to a tapping teacher. Look at her go. Canadian and 3-time step dancing champion Ariel Hyatt is tapping to David Bowie and Queen's Under Pressure. The choreographer and teacher doesn't miss a beat while moving to these masters of music. Wow.
Okay, bring in the talent for the last segment here. I love it.
And then lastly, a reminder that you're never too old to do what you love. This is 63-year-old Andrea Gill, aka Toon Girl. She's a modular synthesizer artist from Germany and is a rising star in techno music right now. Her live sets now run entirely on hardwire, which means no laptop or prearranged sequences, just pure improvisation.
Old school, love it.
Love
Queen.
It. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.